Welcome to In General, the Jurassic Outpost podcast, episode 147. My name is Jack. On this episode, I'm joined with Caleb, double Derek Davis Jr. the third, and Jaden. And we're also going to have a cease at some point in time. He's going to be joining us. On this episode, we're going to be talking about that trailer. Let's dive into it. If you haven't seen the trailer, what the hell are you doing? It's already out there. But yeah, let's get into that trailer. Caleb, how many times have you watched this trailer?
At least 100. Any free time I had today, I was just on repeat watching.
It's one of those. It feels so long awaited. We were waiting for it at the end. I really did think they might drop something at the end of last year. Then I thought the month of January. I didn't think they were going to wait this long, but I guess it made sense. But it feels so highly anticipated, and it's finally here. And I came away really positive overall. I don't think I had any like negativity from the trailer. I was just excited. It looks like an impressive movie. It looks like a Gareth Edwards movie, and it's definitely making me thinking that Jurassic Park is back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're so back. It's just it's a Jurassic Park 3 remaster. Let's face it. And it's gonna be.
We had to come back.
Well, that's it, right? With David Koepp back as the screenwriter, this is technically his third movie in the franchise. This is JP3, or this is the third in the Koepp trilogy.
This is JPK3, Jurassic Park Koepp 3.
Koepp the third. This is yeah, it's exciting. We got the trailer this morning. We thought it was going to come at 6 a.m. It came earlier. I think it was 5 a.m. PST. It dropped. Yeah. They dropped a poster as well, which isn't. It was just a logo poster, but interestingly, it has ScarJo, Mahershala Ali, and the other guy, Jonathan Bailey.
Jonathan Bailey, the other dude.
But it is just a logo poster. Did that poster have
no rating on it?
Any tagline?
No.
Just a straight up poster, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In theaters, July 2nd. In real, oh my god, it's in 3D. We're gonna be able to see this movie in 3D. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
What about Screen X?
All Screen X and all premium large formats. You know.
It says Real D 3D.
Only I can have the Ds, okay?
What is that? Real D 3D. What is that?
Real double D 3D.
Yes.
I actually watched Jurassic World Dominion in 4D, like where the chair moves and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys.
Eric and I did that too.
Yeah,
Eric and I did that together.
It was pretty sick. So I'm gonna do that again with Rebirth.
It was wild.
Yeah. What is Real D 3D?
So Jurassic World, the first of that trilogy, was in Real D 3D, I believe. I don't remember if Fallen Kingdom was, but I don't think so. And then Dominion was in 3D, but I don't know if it was Real D 3D. It's just a different type of projection and glasses, and I mean it's the same sort of concept that you would expect, but yeah.
You get Jonathan Bailey glasses as 3D glasses.
You get Eric Double D Davis glasses.
Yes. I mean, because I have to wear like 4 lenses basically if I'm wearing 3D glasses, because you got to put them over my real glasses. Well, I need prescription 3D glasses. Okay, they need to invent that today. So
I mean,
that's the medical breakthrough they're trying to find in Rebirth.
Oh, God.
Prescription 3D glasses.
Yes.
There was no. Josh pointed out there was no IMAX logo in the trailer.
Premium,
disturbing.
Premium large formats. That thing that it says might cover IMAX, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, the movie. That's the thing. The movie was shot 35mm. It wasn't shot 70mm, which is traditional IMAX size. They upscale a lot of movies and project them at 65, 70mm to make the IMAX size, but it wasn't shot on IMAX cameras,
or it was not shot in 3D either. So
it wasn't shot in 3D either. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with 3D. I haven't thought about 3D in like 10 years.
Only James Cameron does it.
Yeah, I haven't thought about 3D since the glasses were like red and blue.
Yeah,
oh God.
Yeah.
Aqua and Lava Girl, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Borderline.
But yeah, so we got no rating on the trailer. It opens with when dinosaurs ruled the earth. What do we think about that? Do we think that T-Rex is I'm not going to say it. I'm going to call her Roberta.
It's called the Rex.
Yeah,
It's
the
easy.
T-Rex from Jurassic Park, not Rexy.
I'll say
it up,
Rexy, but I usually say the T-Rex or the Nublar Rex. Let's
Yeah,
say
the Nublar Rex. But what do we think that the one in the museum? We assume this is in New York.
yeah. The Martin Krebs and Zora Bennett are wearing the same costumes that they were wearing when they were shooting in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of assume that. And those crates when they were filming at the University of Greenwich said like what'd they say?
National
American
History Museum of America.
Yeah, something like that. So I think, and they obviously can't use the name of the museum in New York, so they're using a different name, but I would guess it's probably going to be in New York.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And I guess the exteriors are the University of Greenwich of that, but then I don't know if what we're seeing in the trailer is the University of Greenwich or if it's on a soundstage. I don't know.
Beautiful footage, beautiful lighting in there, and the architecture of that building is fantastic. And so we have the T-Rex. The head has already been removed from the statue, from the bones. It's being packaged up. The T-Rex is being taken down, and we know from the interview in Vanity Fair that supposedly in the world of Jurassic, people have become very bored of dinosaurs, very sick of dinosaurs.
What?
And there's no interest in dinosaur museums, which does kind of make sense if you think about there's quote real dinosaurs now floating around in the world. Do we need to go see their bones? I kind of understand that logic.
Yeah, that part.
Also, I got the vibe from that statement in the interview that it's like when they were more present, like in the wild or whatever, before they started sort of dying off or getting sick or migrating. I got the vibe that like people felt they were in the way then, and like that made them lose interest in going to see these things in museums that they're so annoyed with.
Inconvenience.
Yes,
So,
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like what you said last night in the chat with it being the Jurassic Park Rex. I think.
Do we think it is?
I think it'll be a cool nod if it is.
I agree. Yeah.
But and I can't imagine that one being alive anymore, especially 5 years after Dominion as well.
Yeah, in Dominion, she was still saving the world and doing all the different crazy stuff, but she's
wearing the cape.
Shit.
She's at least 20, 25. No, she's 30 plus years old.
She was
right?
fucking up Giganotosauruses at 30 years old.
Yeah, as an
Great.
old lady. Old lady Rexy. But that's what I mean. Yeah, but she's probably in the world of Jurassic, she's probably dead now. Is that T-Rex, and is that kind of going to be a signifier for the audience? I kind of feel like they've given us this shot, and that says it. That kind of says it all, right?
Yeah.
It's posed in the exact same way at the end of Jurassic Park. And
the sign,
the banner is up there,
banner.
and it's very much like if Jonathan Bailey is a paleontologist, he was obviously as a kid, he was probably obsessed with Jurassic Park. He probably obsessed with Jurassic World, maybe even worked at one of the parks, but he would have known about the banner and the T-Rex and stuff, and it kind of makes sense. If he works at this museum, would he have put this dinosaur up and posed it in that way?
And his ties with Alan Grant as well.
Yeah.
He mentioned something in the Vanity Fair article about his character's ties to Dr. Grant. I saw a few people sharing it, and a picture of the stupid kid
from Jurassic Park one. Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, he looks a little young for it to be that.
Yeah, because that kid would be in mid-40s or something like that.
I don't think that's a thing, and I don't want it to be a thing, but
what a glow up.
Yeah, the thing is that's the kind of thing they would do now. That's kind of what Hollywood feels like now.
I don't think Jurassic would go that far.
Yeah, I don't want it to be that, but I saw he's definitely got some ties to Grant. He said himself, whether he's an understudy, whether he's like a Billy Brennan type character, knew of Dr. Grant,
a nephew,
book,
a nephew.
I don't know, something.
I think there would also be scientific value to having like these recently cloned dinosaurs in a museum. Like you could say, hey, these dinosaurs were alive like 10 years ago. and that like we know that this is what all of their bones look like from a paleontology perspective. That would be pretty valuable, probably.
Oh, didn't the crates say Neo-Jurassic?
Neo-Jurassic or something like
Meaning
that, yeah.
sort of modern, the reincarnations, the modern day dinosaurs that they brought back to life.
Which is awesome. Like, for them to call it that, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I have a feeling this T-Rex is the original T-Rex. I think it's going to be something maybe that's only hinted at for the audience, or maybe it's mentioned in this scene, maybe, you know.
Mhm.
But I think that would be a cool nod. I feel like the shot, they've posed it that way. They've given us the banner. I feel like they're kind of trying to tell us that it is that Rex.
They're trying to tell us to prepare us for the
Yeah.
death.
I think
Another
the
dinosaur
fact
on
that it's like
screen.
the first thing and it's like a rebirth, I would probably say that. But yeah, it's freaking beautiful though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's a great shot. I love the lighting in this shot, and this whole trailer is shot really nicely. I'm just flicking through it now.
Where'd they get that banner though? Very,
From the
very,
original
very
park.
similar. No, because we saw it all ripped to
From the
shreds
original park.
in Jurassic World, and they
Yeah.
use it as a torch to light their way to
Hey,
the
there are,
garage where they started up
plenty
the
of
car.
Well,
plenty of
Rebirth
sellers out
actually
there on Etsy, you know. They probably just ordered it.
Ah.
it went on Etsy. Yeah, no, they got it from Jake Johnson's character.
Oh god. Because he
He was
stuck around on the
making-
island. We don't know what he did after that.
But
He
it-
probably went back to there and
He found the
grabbed
backup
some
banner
shit.
from the visitor
Well,
center.
it wouldn't be the
storage.
first time they did it, because do you remember in Jurassic World where the Indominus crushed the Rex skull, and then in Camp Cretaceous it was like fully intact?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah,
So
True.
you know,
There's no way,
Continuity.
like, after the volcano and everything, there's no way.
but
A volcano. We're retconning that right now.
I just remember when it was like a big uproar.
yeah. It's So I'm not listening with sound, but we flick through the trailer and we see Scarjo, and we get a bit of exposition here, right? They're inviting Dr. Loomis on the mission,
Mhm.
and what does he say? What mission? What mission?
Yeah,
What are you
Krebs
talking
says
about?
this
Oh,
is
is he
your...
English? Is he English or American? He's American, right?
He's
him
American.
and Krebs are both American in this.
Which is
it
odd.
seems.
They're both British in real life, right?
Yeah.
And Loomis is a British inherently is a British name.
He got
You'll-
Sam Neilled. He got Sam Neilled.
He really did. What mission? What mission? That would have been better in British, I think. What mission are you talking
Everything's
about?
better.
It would make more sense if like he knows or he was connected to Alan Grant, like as an
That's the
American
connection.
paleontologist, I guess. But I don't know.
I'm getting so everybody seemed to think, well, we were led to think that the pharmaceutical guy is going to be a proper bitch, right? The his name, Krebs. He's going to be like a Dodgson in the novels type guy. That's kind of the assumption. But in the trailer, I got a very positive sense from the guy. Like, I feel like he's there
Yeah.
for a reason. He's being good with the team. He's not trying to double cross anybody. That he might be, but he seems legit in the trailer. His character, I mean.
I still think somebody knows more than they're saying, just because like someone has to know about this island before everybody else. And like, I don't know, somebody's gonna know more than they're saying, and like the reasons they're there aren't gonna be the same. And Krebs feels like the guy to feel that way, but he might not be.
Maybe it's just a facade, like he's just making it seem like he doesn't know as much or that he's nice when he's really, a piece of shit. It could
Whereas
be trying to do that.
Ludlow just acts like a dick from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Suit costs more than your education.
Well, Ludlow always felt like Dodgson from Lost World, obviously, because that's the novel they were adapting. So I feel like that's maybe why Kep didn't make the same character twice. Maybe he probably thought, well, I already did that with Lost World. So
And Ludlow is Hammond's nephew, so maybe Jonathan Bailey is Grant's nephew, since we had the same writer.
he's
Could be.
Tim's son, Jim.
What mission? And then we cut to the long grass scene. We finally getting another look at the long grass scene. We've been waiting for this look for a long time, but it's a gorgeous location. We're seeing Thailand in the fall. It's Gareth on. He's working at full capacity here. He's giving us a Gareth Edwards movie right now. This is reminding me of the opening in The Creator, just the landscapes that were mesmerized. It's like when you drive into Yosemite, for example, and it's just so, it's like a skyscraper of rock. You know, it's
Yeah.
impressive. It's the same here. Just the landscape is incredible, and it's very Jurassic, despite the fact that we haven't had this before. We haven't had that kind of mountain before. If that makes sense.
He probably rolled
Yeah.
out his location, shooting schedule from the creator. Was like, okay, which places do I remember would be good for this movie now? And like,
Yeah.
circle, circle, circle. Let's go back
Yeah.
here.
Definitely.
I love, like, after watching some Gareth recently, I love that his sort of visual style is really coming through, like the sort of mildly handheld camera and like just the perspective shots of massive things is just, it looks so good.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. And this whole sequence, everybody rightly assumed it was a sauropod. We have the whole team is here, I think, but we have ScarJo and Jonathan Bailey predominantly together, and then we see them moving through the long grass as the two titanosaurs kind of flick their tails. This is a new look for Jurassic. This kind of sauropod. We've had many sauropods now, but they always kind of feel like a clone of the other one, or oh, it's very similar to that one. Oh, it's the Dreadnought is very similar to the Apatosaur. You know what I mean? This
Mhm.
feels quite different. That's really long, elongated, almost reptilian-like tail, and then the frills that it just looks like a kind of different dinosaur. It looks like something like King Kong or something. You know?
That's
Yeah.
a good shout. That is
Yeah,
It's
a
a-
good
there's lots
shout.
of
It's a
Kong
beautiful
vibes
shot.
here.
Yeah, loads of. I've seen a few comments about that. It feels like Lara Croft with King Kong and Jurassic and Lost World. Kind of
Double
feel-
D, they were going to do a tail whipping scene in the original film, were they not?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. So I came across some storyboards from the original Jurassic Park and actually was able to get a few of them where I think it was the Brachiosaurus in this case, used its tail as like a whip to hit an attacking T-Rex. Kind of like what we've seen in some of the nature documentaries that we've had over the years for dinosaurs. But yeah, so they already thought of doing something with these long whipping tails ever since the first movie. So maybe they, are going to do that this time. We'll see. But I feel like it'd be missed opportunity if not. Like, especially with the way that tail's whipping toward the camera. It's like, oh, come on. It's got to be, whipping across some carnivore at some point and knocking them out. So hopefully, we'll see.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
knowing that Kep has gone back over the original novels, him and Spielberg probably went back over many, many drafts, I would say, of yes, we have a cease. A cease, have you watched it yet?
I've watched it twice now.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts. Tell me.
Once more.
Live instant
This is
reaction.
what I've waited. This is what I want to hear. He's even got real 3D glasses on, so we're ready to go.
And the Dominion
Oh, look at
shirt
that.
too.
Dominion!
Dominion
Jack's favorite
shirt.
movie!
Rip that shirt
I'll
up
say
now,
this.
man. You can get the Rebirth shirt.
The best thing
cool.
I'll say about the trailer, man, thank God it's not giving me Jurassic World trilogy vibes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did
Shit looks
you?
good.
Yes. Okay.
That's all I gotta say, man. I've only seen it twice. It's still like a whirlwind, man. Like I'm still like surprised we got a fucking new trailer. Like I'm so amped. It's like it's better than Christmas, man. This is the best thing.
Yeah, it
Screw
definitely.
the holiday.
There's so much to take in from it. I feel like, yeah.
It was a lot. I think
It
I
was a
saw the
lot
whole
to take
movie though. No,
Yeah. That's my worry. Is they were going to show too much. I was surprised at the length too. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they'd cut it. 130, 150. But
If this is an indication of the whole movie, then I'm in.
I mean, yeah, dude, this is Jurassic Park 4, man. Like the vibes, man. Oh my
doesn't
god,
it
Yeah.
feel
That's
like
what
Jurassic
buildings.
Park 4? It feels like, and I know that they're not. David Kep's even said that. No retcons. All the previous 6 movies happened, but I watched this trailer, and maybe it's just me because this is what I want personally, but I get the sense that you can watch this movie and completely omit the last 3 from.
Yeah, you can. My dad just saw the trailer with me at the end because I waited all day from work to come home and watch it on like the big TV. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch that in July." I'm like, he hasn't seen any of them since 3, so there you go.
Oh, your dad's a legend, man.
This is JP4 for him.
He stopped at the peak, They got
It
He
was
stopped
like
at number
so.
3.
He stopped at
So
the
the
greatest
pteranodons
movie.
fly off at the end of the third, and then he's like, and then we skip third. What's it? 20? How many years has it been since JP? 23, 4?
24.
Something like, yeah. So we'll say 25 years, and then dinosaurs just out. It's like, oh, okay. I guess they just got loose. I guess no problem.
Oh, this is 5 years. 5 years after Dominion, so I guess it's 26 years from
Jesus.
JP3.
Kill me now.
Jesus, yeah, wow. So we're kind of going through the trailer, not shot by shot, but just kind of I'm flipping through it and bringing up discussion. So we're at the scene with the titanosaurs in the shot. I was
Great
saying
shot.
it looks very King Kong.
Yeah, like
Um,
OG King Kong, like
yeah,
the
like the
Peter
2005.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got a real. It's. I was saying it's a new look for Jurassic, even though we've had many sauropods. All the previous sauropods have. They kind of it's very similar to the previous one. This feels quite different. The really long whipping tail. They just look like different creatures, and I also think Gareth shooting this. There's obviously they've done a lot with perspective, and they've done a lot to show you the scale of these dinosaurs, and I think that's gonna be something that really lands.
The orange frills on the titanosaurs, and like they're just so fucking massive. Like it's awesome. And one of them is like getting up from like taking a nap or something in that
Yeah.
shot. And it's great.
I
I
think
will
it's
say though, just touching on scale real quick. That's interesting you say that because, as we know, Gareth Edwards knows how to scale things in his movies. This is like the one time I felt like, a little bit lacking. Like the big D Rex thing. I don't know if it's because it's growing in size really quickly or whatever, but it's hard to get a sense of scale on that guy because it's in one scene he looks relatively small, like T Rex size. Then he's like fucking Godzilla size in one other scene. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get a sense of scale going.
what if
from
there's
these
more
people.
than one?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There's
Never
that.
mind.
I think also like in one moment in the trailer, I think is going to be a flashback. So it was smaller, I think. But
Yes, and we
Yeah.
will get to that because I want to
Yeah, yeah.
talk in
We
depth
will
about
talk
the
about
mutant.
this.
But yeah, so we have that Titana scene. That's beautiful, and then we have what might be my favorite shot in the trailer is the high up in the peaks of those kind of what do you call them? They're not mountains. They're bits of mountain.
cliffs, or I don't know.
That's a nice
Like-
boulder.
But that bit after the Titanosaur shot where the pterosaur is flying through the mist and the
Oh, I just
Very
pulled it up.
aviary-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's very
No idea.
JP3 coded for sure. What do we know what dinosaur that is? Is that a Ket's?
It looks like a Ket's to me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you get a real sense of the scale. But I just love that shot. It's so moody, atmospheric, and
That's
it's
Thailand, maybe.
It's Jurassic Park to me. We get some more exposition with Krebs, and they're talking about what is the joke? Let's keep what mission? But what's the joke? He says,
I can
I
guarantee
can
your
guarantee your safety mostly.
mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
yeah.
What do we feel about Jay Bailey's American accent?
I feel like I mean, I don't think he's doing a bad job or anything. I just know he's British. So it's like, oh, I expected you to be British.
Yeah, you know what? Ever since that Alan Grant thing started coming out, like I'm sure we talked about it on the previous pod, or actually no, we didn't because it came out yesterday. The Alan Grant connection. We'll talk about this, I'm sure. But I hope he's not the vulture Velociraptor kid from the
The
first
vulture
movie.
velociraptor.
we were saying
We were just
before he
talking
came
about
on,
that.
but it-
Yeah, we were just
Grow
talking
up.
about that a little bit. Yeah.
I've seen a few people post the picture of that scene. 6-foot turkey guy.
That's like a
I-
Star Wars level of connection that I don't want.
I don't want it
Yeah,
either.
I was
don't want
saying I feel like it's the kind of thing where in Hollywood now they would do that. They'd be like, it's the kid from the first one that Dr. Grant
Like he's the
threatened."
main guy now.
Like he's the main character. Like I feel like they would do it, but I don't want them to. But I feel like that might be something that happens. You know?
But would Kepi do that? Would Kepi do
No,
that?
I don't think so. Double D Derek Davis, because
I don't think
Think
they're
about
going to
it,
do that. But
from all the trailer, it seemed like they're giving the visual nods more so than like character nods, or like maybe aside from the Alan Grant thing or Doctor Wu might be mentioned or Lockwood or whatever. It seems like it's going off the visual stuff. Like the first thing I thought of after, like the only thing I'm taking away from this trailer, it's like, oh, David Kep has a formula. His formula is literally make sure someone's hanging at some point by a rope.
Yeah.
That's all I could think. That was my number one like takeaway from this entire trailer was like, oh, There's another hanging scene.
The the bottleneck, people in increasingly intense peril. I think I
Yeah.
felt that for sure.
What
I
did
feel
you
like
guys
that's got to be the next falling on the glass in the trailer moment when we get
No
to
glass
that.
this time, baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no glass.
What did you guys think of the Universal logo?
Yes,
That was
Yeah.
sick.
absolutely.
That was sick. That's
10
in
out of
the
10.
in the font and all that. That's sick.
I didn't even notice the difference. I was so amped about the trailer. I was like, just show me the damn trailer. Get this
I
logo
actually
out of
really
my
like
face.
it. I like what they've done. I like that the Jurassic World Rebirth appears to be getting its own sort of themed Universal logo. I like when they do that.
What do we feel about the name though? Like watching this trailer, this could have been. I'm sure I don't know if you guys talked about this already, but like this could have been just Jurassic Park.
They shouldn't
Oh.
have named it. I feel like, yeah, it's tough because
They
you-
literally dropped like I mean, if it's a
They've-
fucking Jurassic Park Research Island, just fucking name it Jurassic Park Rebirth, man.
Yeah.
they
They've,
should. But the problem is like the brand is World now, and they have to. I'm sure the studio like has to be World. It has to say World, or else we're not going to sell. It's that whole sense of like the audience is stupid. You need to tell them it's.
But then you
Jurassic
give it
World.
like a negative,
Vomit.
like almost a negative, like dressing because it's like, oh, the Jurassic World movies were like, yeah, they made money, but like critically they weren't the greatest, and the last two like depends on how you like them, but like critically they did very poorly. So it's almost like you're like painting a first impression on the movie, being like it's a Jurassic World movie and not a Jurassic Park movie, when it clearly looks like a Jurassic Park movie.
I think
I
they
agree,
care
they
more
should.
about brand recognition than
You think so, eh?
100%. Yeah. brand.
Even
Disgusting.
even
No,
Witcher
but
and
I
They
think
should've
why
just called
Jurassic
it-
Park Survival.
I'm happy. Yeah, that's a good question, but because it's set in that era is part of it.
Also.
They've tied the tagline into the whole rebirth thing, like a new era is born. That ties to rebirth.
Rebirth.
So like, I feel like there's gonna be more to the whole creation idea than.
You mean it has human DNA in it?
No, I just mean like I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be some sort of thematic tie to like where we are rebirthing something, like whether it's a terrifying monster or whatever it is. But
Yeah, something has to be born again for the title to make sense. Something
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
some
what-
concept.
exactly. Someone's being reborn. And
I still think it's like a video game, too video gamey, especially
yeah,
with the
I
logo
keep
and stuff.
thinking of Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Rebirth. Man.
Yeah.
I can't not think about Final Fantasy VII.
the Jurassic Park Survival account retweeted the rebirth trailer, and that was like the first activity on that account in a long time.
Yep.
So-
I think they probably all got the
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of memo from Universal to be like promote the trailer.
Yeah,
I think
Or
you
else.
make an interesting point about Jurassic Park Survival, with the brand recognition being World. It's a brave move in a sense, but it's also not because they're selling it as a park game. It's set in right at the first film, and that first film is still so iconic. I feel like they could have gone either way with this film. Personally, they should. Like I would prefer it to be called Park, just because that brings it back to the original, and that makes it part of that original trilogy.
do you think that they're tying it to the like where it is in the timeline? Do you think they're actually making that decision? Like, oh, we need to call this Jurassic Park because it's set back in the time of Jurassic Park. We need to call this Jurassic World because it's set around
That's giving them a lot
those
of
other
credit.
stories. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you think that that's in their reasoning?
Well,
I think maybe it's like because it's a video game, it's not quite theatrical. Maybe that's playing into it. Other side projects, expanded universe can be Park, especially if they are in that era.
I hope they
I
realize
think
that
any
like
theatrical movie, even if this movie was set in '94 or something, I think it would still be called Jurassic World because the theatrical movies brand
Yeah.
recognition
No,
is
I get
like
that.
cinema recognition is
Yeah.
World, which is a shame. I think they should have called this one Jurassic Park 4. Just that.
The
Jurassic.
worst
the
thing
number.
Colin ever did was not the movies. It was renaming JP4 to J Dubs. That was the worst thing you did, Colin. I'll never forgive you.
I agree, but then also I'm glad now because there's still a chance we get Jurassic Park 4 at some point down the line. There's still a chance
It's like just toss
somebody
these
comes
world
along.
I
movies
think
out.
it'll be Jurassic
Scrapping
Park.
the world ones. None of them happened. Let's do
Jurassic Park subtitle is what we could get in the future. I bet.
Jurassic Park Extinction. But yeah,
Something.
no, Rebirth I think is a shit title, but it doesn't. I don't
Bit
hate
bolster,
it.
too.
It's just not a. It doesn't mean much, right?
There were
It's a marketing title, it
It's a
sounds
general,
like.
yeah, definitely a marketing.
that
title.
is part of it too. There were rumors way back when it was announced that there were, before we knew the title, that it was called other things, and so-
Jurassic City.
yeah, that.
Oh, thank God it's not that.
Saga.
Yeah, so we can confirm there's no Jurassic City going on, luckily.
There's
yeah,
no city in this.
finally
Yeah, I'm
confirmed.
curious about where that one came from exactly.
What's next in the trailer?
I'm very curious to see.
Oh yeah, there's a trailer.
But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm very curious to see how much Gareth changed, because he said in that interview that he changed the cliff facing being. Oh, I want a temple there. So the temple is actually something Gareth brought to the project, which I.
Well, does he mean that it's just the temple in that scene that he created, or temples like the ruins in general? That's what I wonder.
Because we saw in Thailand there was like steps.
yeah.
And that could have been them steps leading up to the top of the cliff or something like that. But I got the sense that maybe there's more. Maybe they stumbled upon more ruins throughout.
That's what I was thinking.
The island was obviously occupied by a tribe way back when. But it'd be interesting to see how much Gareth sort of brought to the project and changed, because they didn't have the whole temple stuff before him.
Well,
David Leitch was just running and gunning with the David.
David Leitch makes a lot more sense now, too.
ScarJo said she. Assis, get that Star Wars noise out of here.
R2?
Sorry.
It's a Jurassic podcast, my buddy.
Yeah, Assis, come on now.
My phone. Sorry.
ScarJo said that she changed some things about her character as well.
Yeah.
So
She made it less mercenary.
She made her
Yeah.
made it a woman. It could have been a dude before, right? Technically,
Yeah.
according to early.
Yeah, David
reports,
Cap
right?
or Gareth said they wrote it as a anyone
Gender
kind of
neutral
character,
or something. Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. I mean, that's a good way to kind of write. Like the lead could be either, you know.
that
an
way you
alien.
don't immediately go to Chris Pratt.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's been cast as a different actor in Jurassic.
Okay.
Different character.
It's like a Doctor
Let's
Doom
take a second here.
situation.
Let's take a second here. This is important to say. ScarJo doesn't feel like ScarJo in a Jurassic Park movie like Chris Pratt felt like a Chris Pratt in Jurassic World. She actually feels like she belongs in the universe in a way. So do all the characters we saw on screen today.
She looks
although I will argue
badass.
that
She looks
Chris
amazing.
Chris Pratt worked in Jurassic World as Owen. It was the ones
Yes.
after that was like.
He became Chris
hang on,
Pratt.
it's Chris
I'm
Pratt-
just
Yeah.
poking fun because Chris Pratt is a doofus, but yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you see
but-
that commercial he was in with the guy that plays Thor? Forget his
Chris
name now.
Hemsworth, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like pointing at a Deinonychus skeleton. And
Like, oh, the mighty have fallen.
Well,
Kingdom.
what's that movie? Chris Pratt's done with Billy Bobby Brown. Billy Bobby with Millie Bobby Brown. I watched
Who
a
was
clip of
that,
and I was
Jack?
like, this looks like
Billy Bobby
Bobby.
Thornton Brown.
Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, Brown. Looked like garbage, fresh hot garbage.
oh, I think it looks like a good time. It's called The Electric State.
The Electric State looks like shit.
I think it's a cool concept, though.
It looks like pure Hollywood filth, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun. That's the kind of movie when I see the trailer, I'm just like, "Ugh, that's disgusting."
I can look past big blockbuster silliness if the concept is cool. You know.
Fellas, so we mentioned David Leitch real quick there, but we were always saying we don't see how he could fit the movie. Knowing that this movie is kind of like a team building heist movie,
Yeah.
all of a sudden David Leitch makes sense because his next project that he lined up after getting kicked off Jurassic is literally the Oceans movie. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, maybe all of a sudden it does make sense. You have he would have focused probably more on the ensemble piece rather than like a cool visual eye candy fest like Gareth Edwards will.
Thank goodness we got Gareth Edwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't get me wrong,
but
thank God.
I do see what you're saying, Aziz. There is
Yeah.
an element that I'm like, yeah, I can see why they thought Leach would work, and maybe he would have worked. Maybe I would have changed my mind on him as a filmmaker. But I definitely somebody that shot Godzilla and made a load of the opening scenes feel like a Jurassic movie is probably the guy I would have gone for over the guy who made The Fall Guy or whatever the hell it was called. Yeah, I think they made the right call. So what comes after that logo? I really like that logo.
Birdie
by the
Man.
way. That Universal logo with the Jurassic font, the metallic
Hell yeah.
embossed.
Literally
logo.
gasped when I saw
And they've
it.
done the same sunburst thing behind the world.
Mhm.
that they do in the logo. Anyway, the next shot is that gorgeous Suriname shot with all the peaks in the background, the busy bar and boats and fishermen. That's the one.
It's not a Jurassic thing, but I love that seaplane. It's just cool.
This
Very Indiana Jones. Yeah.
This-
What's this?
this shot looks
The
incredible.
plane. What does he say when he's running towards the plane? In Indiana
Oh, he's
Jones?
like start. Is he saying start the plane?
Yeah, I
don't know.
think so. Start the plane.
You know
Yeah,
what
My
says
pet
stop
snake
this plane?
Reggie.
Well,
Yeah, the
he's
seaplane
running by
comes in.
himself, and then all of the folks show up behind him, chasing him with spears.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Classic.
So yeah, that's all. The plane comes into land. We get
Just
this
beautiful, fucking, just beautiful.
just
Beautiful
stunning,
scenery.
stunning,
Yeah.
and all shot on film too. I had the ProRes quality version of this trailer, and the fucking film grain.
Oh,
my
wow,
God,
yeah, I
it is
bet.
such a gorgeous looking trailer.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, what do you think of the aspect ratio? Now we're back to the Fallen Kingdom aspect ratio. Oh my.
Do you know what I'm in, because it's shot anamorphic, and you
In
get
a surprise to
that
no
anamorphic
one,
distortion
I'm
on the
also
edges of
in.
the frame. You get that warping, especially in the opening. If you go back to the opening shot when they're walking in, it's curved. The
Mhm.
sides are curved, which is what the anamorphic lenses do. And I just love that I wasn't the biggest fan of Fallen Kingdom's crop because it wasn't shot anamorphic. So they're forcing the crop.
That's what they call the matte filming, right? Where they have to matte it afterward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why like open matte is the full frame you get. Anamorphic shoots in the scale of open matte, big square image, but you have to stretch it wide for it to be the image in the film. Like the people's faces look all squished together. You have to stretch it to 239:1 to get the final image, which is why it ends up looking all weird. But that's why anamorphic is so loved. It looks fucking sick when it's used.
We're seeing what was in that Jungle Explorer colored canister right now.
Yes, that was cool. So we meet Duncan here. They're gambling.
Heineken beer. I see a Heineken.
They're drinking Heineken.
They're just vibing.
Oh, they are. There's
Someone's
a
got a
Heineken.
Heine.
There's a Parbo beer.
Hey, he looked like he was winning that card game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Looked like to me.
Dude, Mahershala Ali is gonna be, if people don't know who this guy is, you're about to fall in love and have a new favorite actor, I think. Because this guy
he might be one of the most humble actors I've ever read an interview for.
Did you
Yeah.
see how he talked about people getting killed?
He's like, oh, I don't know if I fit in here, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
man?
you're an Oscar-winning,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
fucking, it's like just the most charismatic dude.
And his delivery in so far in this trailer, the brief clips we have, I think he's going to be a standout.
Mm.
I know
Nobody else
feel like
is
he's really
dumb
gonna
enough
be a
to go where we're going.
Yeah.
That could have been a stupid line, but the way he handles it,
So good.
The
It's so
delivery
good.
is good.
good shit. Yeah,
perfectly Cat. It's written by Cat, delivered by an Oscar winner who definitely deserves to be there. And nothing is bigger than him. Like, I can't believe he said that. What a humble guy.
dude, I can't believe he's in this movie. What a
Yeah,
what
Fantastic.
a get.
It's fucking fantastic.
What we're
I'm
getting
getting
here is
goosebumps, man.
Yeah, you
what we're getting here is the scene in the JP4 John Sayles script where they hire Nick Harris
dude.
in a bar in South America. That's what's happening here, and I love.
Convince me this is not a JP4 script. Really,
This is
JP4 was a heist movie for half of the movie.
This is JP4, but taking into account that we've just had 3 other movies, it's like we have to adjust the JP4 to be, for the modern world.
Instead of a dino human, hang on a second.
We'll get there.
I want Mahershala.
Man, he was ahead of his time. But we're finally getting that recruitment. We need you. And we know from the Vanity Fair that they recruit Duncan because his skill is taking people into basically like war zones.
He's a logistics guy.
He's a logistics guy.
I want him to get up and punch out a tourist like Roland Timbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roland Timbo's about to have some freaking some competition for best side character, I think.
Yeah, ScarJo's looking sick here as well.
They're always bald, the good side characters,
Oh, like me, my guys.
What about ScarJo? Did you say?
I was saying she looks
cool,
great
man.
in the bar there.
Oh yeah,
It was aviators she's wearing.
Yeah.
Just
Negative.
cool. She's gonna be a cool lead. She's gonna be a cool character. Doesn't take.
How
a second.
has no one else
Also-
mentioned how gorgeous Jonathan Bailey looks? I guess it's time for
Absolutely.
me to mention that
We haven't gotten
several
to
times.
we haven't gotten to the good Jonathan Bailey shots yet.
Yeah, no, I'm currently.
They're
on the-
coming.
It's the boat crashing through the waves. This is the boat we've seen them filming on. We get a very Jurassic World style touchscreen, like Microsoft Surface type. Before the Microsoft Surface laptops and all that stuff they've got now, they had. Do you remember the original Microsoft Surface, which was a table
Yeah.
that you put in your room, and it was a big like screen,
Mm.
and you could put. The idea they had was you could put your phone on it. Other people could put their phone on it, and then it would sync the phones, and you could throw pictures across the table. That's what they seem to be working on here. Is one of those like a table that is a screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Same
he
thing
touches
that,
touches the map on it. I think they've
yeah,
got.
same thing that what's his face uses Mills. In
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
that scene, they literally talk about kind of where this island is located. It's near Barbados.
Yeah.
near Barbados.
You just
Yeah,
gotta skip the patrols or whatever he said.
yeah. So what is the line? What does he say? Somebody.
Oh, hang
We
on.
go up north past Barbados, avoid government patrols,
Yeah.
which there aren't that many anymore.
There aren't that many anymore. So there were government patrols of Site C or Site A or whatever site this is.
That's so good,
It's
man.
an InGen
Good
Island.
world building.
But this guy's so on it, Duncan's so on it that they've managed to figure out, well, we can skirt the patrols. The patrols are at this time. We can just,
That's smart.
some world building. That's great. Learning about the plan though, yeah. And we get a shot of Philippine Velg, and I think she's next to ScarJo.
Yeah, in the corner. Yeah.
We got
Then we
shots
get a-
of everybody in this trailer.
Yeah, we finally got to see the family. We got to see. We even got lines from David Iacono. Tell me those aren't raptors or something.
Whoa. Before we get to that,
He says,
I
"Don't say they're raptors. They're raptors."
they're raptors.
No raptors.
Dude.
That's gonna be a fucked up scene. But yeah, that's the next shot is that sunrise or sunset of the island.
That's important to me because I'll tell you why.
Tell
Just
me.
looking at that, that's exactly what I expected a Jurassic Park 4 to look like. Just fucking ruined shit behind a danger sign. Like that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah.
But in the shot before that, when it's the sunburst
Yeah.
coming through the mountain, what is that like piping or?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. Like roads or no?
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna say
know.
like a path, like
Yeah,
a
it's-
road or
it
some
seems
shit.
substantial.
Yeah.
It looks like piping.
Trail.
Maybe
Remember
it's
all
part of
those?
like the geothermal. Maybe this island also had geothermal
Well,
power. Right?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
those
that'd be
pipes.
cool.
That,
Steam or something coming off it as
Good
well.
catch,
Yeah.
Jaden. Good catch.
all those pipes that come up of the
Hydrothermal.
ground on Isla Sorna in the Lost World.
Or is it hydrothermal or geothermal in Jurassic Park?
Or,
A geothermal.
Geothermal.
It'd be
Yeah.
geothermal, I think. Yeah.
yeah, because I remember Camp Cretaceous. They touched on that shit. You know when like the
Oh, yeah.
park went to shit, and then all like the frozen shit started happening.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it messed with the geothermal plant. Or
I think
whatever.
you guys are
Yeah.
right.
And Jurassic Park, the game, everyone's favorite game.
Ugh. The
The
only
game where you literally have to
only way-
pick two players to argue each other. It's fun.
the only way
It
to play
was!
Jurassic Park the game is to press play on YouTube and watch it as a video. It's just fucking
Damn.
that game.
It's
Anyway,
a
the
good
next
video.
No
shot is
respect.
the next shot is the danger, 10,000 volts. You've got the fence there. You've got the
That's JP4, baby.
You've got the light,
Yeah.
the amber light on the fence. This fence feels like 90s Jurassic. The sign is almost the exact one from the first movie. The hand is the same icon, I think, right?
Yeah, it's just the other part is slightly different. I forget.
Other parts
I-
different, but the hand
Yeah.
icon is the same, I believe. And then, it's like an
Yeah.
industrial. What does that even look like? It looks like the where cows go to die. You
No,
know?
it looks like
what do they
mining.
call them?
Oh, dude, what if
Like a
there's an
slaughterhouse?
amber deposit on this island? It could be it looks like a mining setup to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Yeah,
Hmm.
shit.
Ooh.
That little ramp. I mean, it looks like a ramp. That little conveyor belt that brings shit up and down. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah. So they're either culling cows or it's like an amber mine or something like that on this island.
Little
Or
details.
they were culling failed clones.
Failed clones just up the ramp.
A conveyor belt of Maisie Lockwoods, just
Which is
going in.
maybe why this.
Oh my god, amazing clone.
We'll get
Yes.
to this. I'm sorry, but maybe that's why this big dude is coming after us. So pissed off.
the
They
big
they
daddy.
killed my family. Oh, and it's after that shot that we get the nobody's dumb enough to.
Yeah.
Nobody's
We
dumb
see
enough to
Ed
go where we're
scream.
going.
There it is. You see Ed Screen,
Dude,
you
is
see
that
him
Ed
loading up his
Screen?
weapons, and then we get a beautiful shot of the island. I have to say, this island is very different to previous islands. Like,
Mhm.
it's obviously a tropical island, but this landscape, this is fresh. It's definitely fresh for the franchise. It's not Hawaii. It's looking very different, and we're in the Caribbean, right? That's what
Yeah.
we know. We're basically around the Caribbean, which is where we predicted after we saw Suriname, and then looking at in the Gulf of America, and looking at like the islands
Fuck
around.
that shit.
Stop. End the
Looking at-
podcast. We're done.
Looking at the islands around there and stuff, like there were so many options for them to choose from. Any of the Caribbean islands or any of the smaller islands in that Gulf. It made sense, you know, especially if that location of the bar was indeed Suriname, which we now know it is. So wait, Suriname, right?
Suriname, yes.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's
The
pretty,
flag on the top of the bar.
the flag on the top of the bar is what gave it away, yeah. But this shot of the boat approaching the island, fucking great, man.
Hmm.
So
Very
good.
Lost World-ish.
Very Lost World-ish, yeah. And then we get this is kind of what I was waiting for in the trailer. The lab, inside of the lab. Frank Marshall was sat next to the building that contained the lab. Well, this lab set is actually probably in the UK, but he was sat outside that building, the laboratory on Site C, and we see inside of it, and it looks like a bit of a disaster zone. Things have collapsed. But my theory is they've just booted up the power, because you can see the computer monitor there. It starts giving lines of code, like in
It
Jurassic
looks
Park.
old too. Eh?
Also, later on, too, I'll point it out that it looks like someone turned the power on at some point in this movie.
Yeah. So I think when they're exploring this lab, they've just some of the lights are flickering too. I think they've just booted it up to go in, maybe open doors. But you get the sense like there's concrete all over the place, and it looks very abandoned. You get the sense that something happened here. And
But
then
it looks futuristic in a way, no? Like
Little
some of
bit.
the architecture inside doesn't make sense. Even for like early JP days, it would have been like a concrete wall. Even Jurassic World Dominion got that part right. It made it look like the original Jurassic Park control room almost, the Sorna research lab. So this looks like a Dominion thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it looks futuristic. They've made like it looks old, but the style is futuristic in a way. It looks like
it
part
doesn't
of the
fit.
set. Yeah, but yeah, so they walk through the lab, and then behind Mahershala, you see Laboratory 3, and you can't quite make up the text below that. But then it cuts to what I think you're meant to think he's looking at this, but there's a theory that this shot of the two-headed raptor is part of the flashback, because it's all very shiny, new looking.
Why is everyone assuming there's going to be a flashback in this?
No, I don't think flashback in the sense of like
Like a
flashback.
prologue.
I think it'll be the opening scene will be set when
That
the mutant
shot in the
damaged.
trailer of the two lab workers, and there's one inside the place
Yeah.
with the thing, that I think is, I mean, that seems to be when the lab was functioning, not when it was abandoned.
Yeah,
So-
and this shot of the two-headed raptor also looks like it's when the lab was functional. There's no damage to any of the walls or anything, and the raptor appears to be in cryostasis.
Yes.
You know, later we'll touch on it, but you know, later on in the trailer when like they're stuck in it and the villain dinosaur is in that, when it's like that red screen and it's like banging on the glass, like that person. That is a callback to Godzilla as well, because at the start of the
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Good catch,
Which
Yeah.
in Godzilla, it's so emotional because it's husband and wife.
Yeah.
Right?
So if they
have
do
to-
that as like a flashback at the start, that's gonna be very cool as well.
Imagine if that's what
Good
this is.
catch.
Yeah.
But
I
I
watched Godzilla on the weekend, so yeah.
that's the sense.
Great.
That's the sense I'm getting from this, though, is that's part of the inciting incident will be about the mutant, about this lab, about the mutant. It'll set up the island. It will set up that something went wrong. They closed everything and tried to run away, maybe. And I have a feeling this two-headed raptor shot is from that. But let's talk two-headed raptor. Come on, man.
What if
That's
that
more
is
than one.
not in the prologue?
Possibly
What if the
raptor.
two-headed raptor is in the present and it gets out and chases us?
It better not. Because
I want
why
that.
not have a dino human? God
Yeah.
damn it!
It'll be in the now this portion of the movie at the very beginning.
They better not ever do that bullshit again.
Yeah, that came on.
Let's
I don't
not
know
get
where I
off on
was, but
that.
That came on the other day. I think Dominion was on TV or something. I flicked up. It was just that scene, and I was like, I can't believe we went through a Jurassic, and it had this. in it.
It's so dated.
Now.
Like, it dates itself
So
so
bad.
poorly.
Yeah, and wasn't it a late omission? Wasn't it like something Colin added very late in the game too?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was added after they had shot most of the movie. I think they were like, maybe it was well, whatever. But yeah, this two-headed raptor looks like the second head hasn't fully evolved.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just me seeing that?
I didn't even
looks-
notice it at first.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like unevolved.
Unevolved.
This is cool though. I mean, this is the kind of thing we, in a way, like we need to see the failed experiments. We need to see I've had in Outpost videos for a long time now. I've been using clips from Alien Resurrection where Ripley finds all the Ripley clones, all the failed attempts at the Ripley clone, and it kind of looks like we are getting a little bit of that. We're seeing like failed dinosaurs.
That's what David Kep was watching during the writer's strike, was Alien Resurrection.
Alien Romulus.
On
Alien
repeat.
Resurrection.
It makes sense that they would have this stage of their development process of, for InGen of cloning dinosaurs, that they would have some mistakes.
They
Yeah,
clearly fucked up.
Sorna never had any mistakes, right? Like we saw babies in Sorna, and they were like fine in the tanks. Like, so I guess you're right. It does make sense that these guys are kind of broken looking. This is it's on the factory floor. It's like the fucking.
It's the testing ground.
test kitchen.
Testing ground.
Yeah. So
how many islands did Hammond own, though? That's what I want to know. How much money did this guy really have? Like, come on.
Yeah, it starts to get a little bit ridiculous. This could have been Sorna, I guess, at the end of the day.
I think so. Thinking about it as a testing ground makes me wonder more about Martin Krebs and the whole pharmaceutical thing. Like maybe he had
better
some...
not want this for a I was thinking
No.
this today as well.
I'm just saying, like maybe like his company had contracts with InGen in the past to like test out medicines on animals or something, on like failed clones or on clones or something.
So
and, like,
Caleb, what I'm worried about is that somehow someone knows about this big Rancor dinosaur, and they're like, "Oh, we want that. We want that dinosaur for X, Y reason. It better
military
not be,
reasons. We want to put it in the
probably
war
going to be
zone.
military reasons again and again and again."
I mean, it could
I
be.
Of the size.
I was telling Jack a while back. I was like, maybe the secret twist or something is that actually, like, we want to make more of these things. But I don't
We
know.
want more Rancors.
I don't know.
I
Do
have
this
a
with or
feeling-
without you.
I get the feeling that the whole it's like an accident let out. I don't think they want the mutant, but
Why
I
does
think
it
they-
keep it
I think-
alive?
Yeah, I think maybe they want something from it. Maybe like they want samples from the 3 biggest
Oh.
dinosaurs, quote unquote. But maybe they would actually, we need a 4th sample from this crazy
Thing.
monstrosity.
So, like, literally, the question then becomes in my head. We've already seen the 2-headed raptor. That guy looks dead. Why is this guy allowed to be kept alive? Are you going to show this off at Jurassic? Because you got to think back in the day, InGen was not interested in like making hybridized dinosaurs yet.
I don't
right?
think this was in any way on purpose, like it still being around.
Maybe they
Yeah.
thought they killed it, but
That
then
guy's a
after they
big-
left, it came back to life, kind of thing. Maybe it played
That
dead
guy's
or
not coming
something.
out of an egg this big, though. He's not coming out of a fucking
Well,
20-foot egg.
We were talking earlier about them booting up the power. Like Jack was saying earlier that maybe when they boot up the power, that's why it is released or wakes up or
Then the
whatever.
issue becomes.
Kind of like Amputaceous. Yeah.
Like the Scorpius. But that
Yeah.
power
Caleb,
shut down.
do you
I
think
or
that
something.
you guys think this flashback is based off that scene with the red mist and smoke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that equipment looks like that suit looks like almost like a Jurassic World Dominion modern day suit. You know what I mean? Like it would have made it look more 90s.
I
hey,
think if-
we're
I think-
assuming it's pre the current
Because
timeline
now-
of the movie, but it might be what happens near the end. Maybe they get it. Maybe they manage to contain it. But one
dude,
of them has to
ScarJo
sacrifice
folks,
it.
they flip on
Yeah.
the thing, they flip on the power. All of a sudden, Buddy's trapped in there while he was doing routine checking on the D-Rex's cage or whatever you want to call it.
I
And then all
think
of a
that
sudden,
we're
away.
30 plus years removed from the 90s when maybe is when this is happening. I think suits back then looked more modern than we might expect because we're
think
further
so.
away from the 90s than people
so
realize.
this is
I
a
think
30-year-old monster creature.
That's why he's a big boy.
Yeah.
girl?
Even
It might
small, and then big, and then medium, and then large.
I think
feel
you're
like-
over.
Yeah.
I think you're over.
I'm overthinking this. I know I am, because it's like I want this guy to be human so badly, man. Like the reason he's growing so big is like HGH or something.
It feels almost like a primate the way it kind of moved around for the little bit that we saw. I don't know.
Walks on its
Very
knuckles.
primate.
Yeah.
You guys notice the T-Rex arms on this guy?
The little
You can
ones.
see them in the scene where, in the moment where it's contained, you can see
Yeah.
the T-Rex arms on the
It's
front
got
of
a
it.
little arm. It's got a little arm and a big arm, and then like just like a foot arm, I guess.
When I
That's so
sent the
cute.
trailer to a friend of mine, he asked me what the Gorillasaurus was. So maybe it has some primate in it.
I think the way
Right.
it's like kind of hunched
Ooh,
over
I
too
need-
kind of feels like very gorilla stance. I don't know, just
Yeah, a
it
little
made
bit.
me think of that too.
and it
They-
put its hand. It put its like I called it a paw, but it put its like hand down in a very atypical manner,
It looks like a
Yeah, like a
deformed
knuckle, like
foot.
he said. Yeah.
which
Maybe-
is kind of
Maybe they're reviving Harambe.
Oh no! Shut down the podcast again. No, we can't.
Oh,
Too topical.
We obviously don't know like if they wake it up or if that's part of the inciting incident, but maybe David Kett was also watching Jason X in
God.
that for inspiration. In that movie, Jason is frozen. You know, the serial killer Jason. What's he called?
Yes.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
He's frozen. He's put in cryogenic storage, and then 1,000 years later, nobody lives on Earth anymore. They live on Earth 2. I think it's Earth 2, or they live on a spaceship or something. And they
Yeah,
go
he
back
attacks a
to
spaceship.
Earth to, gather, history books and like learn about it. And they uncover a frozen Jason Voorhees and basically unfreeze him.
this sounds
it's
like the
really
plot
wow.
of Jurassic World Rebirth to me.
That's
It's
maybe what's
campy as
happening here
fuck.
is a bit of a Jason X type thing. They should have called this Jurassic Park X.
It would have been a
Jurassic
better
Park.
title
Wow.
than Rebirth. bro.
Rated X. Yeah.
So we get a two-headed raptor. I have a feeling that's part of the original sequence, however that takes place. Just the lab looks like clean and fresh. The next shot is Jonathan Bailey looking at a baby xenomorph in a small cryogenic.
Lots of
Hey,
laundry.
That's what it looks like.
Where you thought we were going to cross over with Fast and Furious, we're crossing over with Alien.
Alien.
This
Yeah, well,
is
it's
fucking
much
Jurassic
rather
World
that.
Romulus.
Yeah, I got Romulus vibes from the trailer. I have to
Very
say,
much. Even the production design, very Romulus.
yeah,
looking.
very Romulus.
The
And when I
thing-
saw Romulus, I was like, regardless of my view of the movie, Alien fans are just lucky that they got a movie that feels like it's an Alien film. I feel
This
like
is exactly what this is, dude.
this
exciting.
feels like a Jurassic Park film. The production design, all of it really fits in. I don't know.
The thing that Jonathan Bailey's looking at in that shot looks like, it looks like a completely failed experiment, but it has like a frill, like a Dilophosaurus or something.
Mm.
You can see the tail. You can kind
yeah.
of make out other parts of it. But are we thinking this might be the small versions of that thing?
That
gotta
could be.
I think
Right.
we're going to see tons of just failed attempts.
Shit.
I think I
Yeah.
had
Oh my
calamari like
At-
this last week. So
At
Dude,
different
the ultimate
stages
Easter egg?
of development too.
Dude, the ultimate Easter egg, I think, would have to be like in like one of the panning shots of like whatever this lab thing is. In one of the tanks is like a John Sayles fucking dino human dog.
Yes.
Get out
Yeah.
of town.
Some Carlos Fonte.
Oh.
It would be
Can you
like
imagine? I would shit my pants.
I would be
Yeah.
so in for just to see failed human hybrid stuff. Yeah, I'm in.
Especially knowing as well, we're not going to get this island in the present day. Maybe a small scene, but not in the present day. I mean, in the time that they were actually on this island working, it
Yeah.
opens up the possibility for prequels and other
Mhm.
media to kind of go to this place and and play with some of those. Maybe John Sayles
maybe
ideas.
in a
TV
different
show.
video game. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jurassic World Rebirth tie-in game is actually set 30 plus years ago, way before all of this.
Please and thank you.
So we get in the trailer, we get ScarJo loading the gun, we get them back in the long grass, we see Baichir Sylvain, and we see the cats flying very high up, and I think that must be where they're like, okay, well we gotta go up there and we gotta get the egg.
Get
Why
some
can't we get
omelets.
it from the parent? I
Yeah,
don't.
you have ScarJo, she's going down the side of the cliff. They enter the cliff face. There's some dialogue here. And then they're inside the temple. on the side of this
Doom.
cliff,
Extracting shit.
extracting a very suspicious-looking substance in that.
Um,
And Bashir Sylvain is on the side of the cliff face,
Yeah,
too close to the
bless.
entrance.
This guy, I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be my favorite character, just not only because I look like him in terms of like beard and bald, but like just the way he's like emoting with just his eyes and his face in that one shot previous to this when he's looking at the Titanosaur. It's like, Jesus, is this guy looking at like a legitimate dinosaur? Like, fuck, I'm so sold on this guy. It feels like
Yeah.
OG, like it feels like someone's seeing like a dinosaur on the screen almost for the first time. Like he's like about to cry. It looks like it's good acting. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good. He's
You
a
were
good
about to say
character.
something, Jaden?
yeah. I was gonna say something about the weapons that we've seen in this movie. They're not actually guns or anything like that. I just want to point that out because you know, have the whole violence thing when it comes to outside of the movies and stuff like
Good
that.
point, Jaden.
Yeah, because that was my biggest thing about this whole Rebirth thing is that I'm confident in the movie that it's gonna be great, but outside of it, when it comes to video games and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like it's a Rebirth outside of that because they're still playing it safe in that regard. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the weapons that they were loaded, that Ed Screen and Beiichi Sylvain were loading up on the boat. What were they?
I couldn't tell you. It looks like some sort of submachine gun platform, some sort of fucking semi-auto thing. But based off the first weapon we saw with ScarJo and the fact that sometimes Jurassic will just make up weapons, I think it's gonna be some non-lethal garbage again.
Hmm.
I mean, like,
Boo.
to an island of dinosaurs, you can like pop a dinosaur. It's not a big deal. Like you can kill one. These things will kill you. You can shoot a dinosaur. It's
But
not a
then
big deal.
later
Well, this
in the
was
trailer, she
protection.
does have a pistol, and she's shooting
That's
stuff.
Yeah,
true.
she
does have
shoots.
a,
Yeah.
she does shoot
We'll
a
see
real
about that. We'll see
Yeah.
about that.
So there
Yeah.
is that, but I just wanted to
Shooting
point that
blind.
out.
That was the timing of that with the music and
She's shooting
everything.
blanks. It's just sound.
The timing of that with the music and everything in the trailer was great. Her popping
Yeah,
the
really
pistol.
good. Very Romulus
Yeah.
vibes from that as well. But yeah, there was I saw somebody say, I think one of you guys said, when Jonathan Bailey gets yanked out of the temple, the cliffside, maybe that correlates with the Kets arriving, and maybe the Kets takes out Beiichi Sylvain. He's setting
Better
up.
not, dude.
Yeah, but he's setting up like the, what do you call them, the support ropes on the side of the cliff. He gets yanked. The support rope gets yanked. Jonathan Bailey gets pulled out.
Oh,
That scene's
Curious
going to be
about that.
intense.
Yeah,
but I want people to die violent deaths, not like a fall to your death.
I want torture.
I want to see a raptor rip a dude apart.
I think the
Yes.
mutant's going to rip some people apart.
Hopefully.
I think so
but
too.
That's not cool though, because it's probably just gonna like punch you and you'll die. It's like,
Yeah, people
Oh.
are going to get stepped on too.
Speaking of which, it seems like just based off this, there's going to be no supporting cast or extras aside from the folks that we already knew about for months now on the island. It seems like it's going to be just this team and the family, and like
Yeah.
that means that scares me a little bit. 'Cause that means very few deaths.
No, it doesn't, because in the Vanity Fair
Also-
article, Mahershala was like, there's no draft of this script where everyone survives.
Yeah.
And like talking
That
about
means,
there's
like-
plenty of death. I think there's going to be more death.
That could mean like that could literally mean of the 5 drafts David Kep wrote, in 2 of them Mahershala Ali dies, and then 3 of them maybe fucking like Philippine Velge dies. That's what he means. Like no
They
one
were-
survives this one, dude.
They were
I don't think he meant Rogue
communicating.
One.
They were trying to communicate that it's more scary and there's more death. Is the vibe I got.
They should
And
have
all
brought
the
some more
kids
extra-
die from compies.
I do get a sense that I think the mercenaries will probably, most of them will die. I think they're a bit disposable. Like, I
What
think
mercenaries? Like the
Philippine Velg, Ed Screen, Bashir Sylvain, I think they'll pop off one by one.
that's just 3 people. If you want to add Mahershala Ali, that's just 4 dudes.
Yeah,
You add
and then
Mahershala Ali, you add Bashir Sylvain, you add.
I think the family's definitely not dying.
I
Kill
think
off the
one of.
kids.
I think one member of the family is going to die at least.
No way, dude.
kill off the kid.
The young
The
daughter.
father.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Can you
when
imagine that we're
in
homeless now?
the last moments of the trailer when we're on the boat, like it's just the father and one daughter is all I
No, they're
noticed.
all on the boat. I think at the end, the thingy's in the back. Luna Blaze is in the background of one of the shots, and the
Yeah.
boy you can see it. You can make out he's there, David
He's
Arquette.
there at nighttime too.
Oh well,
which is
Mahershala
really-
Ali's definitely not there though.
Mahershala Ali's not there, yeah, not on the boat. But the
Because
kids
he's
are all
driving the boat or whatever you call it.
he
right?
could, yeah, he could actually be piloting.
He's not dying
Maybe
that
maybe
early.
more people die in this boat scene.
I
Yeah,
think they
maybe there's like
passed-
50 dudes on it and like all of them get wiped out.
Well, when
Okay,
we think that boat scene, we're talking about the Spinosaurus Mosasaurus joint attack scene, right?
Yeah.
At what point during the movie do we think that happens?
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Judging
You have
by
to rescue the family first.
yeah, they do have to rescue the family, so that could be
It's
like right
definitely
after they
post-rescue because they're all torn up on the boat and they're all a bit like flustered.
Clothing
does
change.
does
I-
Scar so in that moment on the boat does ScarJo look like she's been
looks-
on the island for a while, or does she look like she hasn't
No.
gotten
It looks
to
like
the
she
island?
just showered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
That's what I'm saying. I think maybe
Glamour
it's
shots.
after they rescue the family and then they're showing up to the island, maybe. And then
Well-
they're defending the territory, I guess. But
They rescue, yeah, but where do they rescue the family? From Murray. Oh, that's right. They rescue them from
their boat has crashed or capsized.
Oh,
from
fuck.
that attack.
Okay.
That was said in the article, I think, right? So
And they
from-
just happen to be passing by close enough to see them, I guess.
Maybe this moment with the Spinosaurus and the Mosasaurus is like the second time we see them in this sort of sequence of events. Maybe they also crash the family's boat and then they come back because they're defending their territory or something.
Well, I'm just wondering when the lagoon sequence happens because it appears to happen to the family. So, like,
Yeah.
does it happen before they get rescued, or do they get split up again later? So then they have to get on a raft somehow.
Well,
Like, it's
I was
interesting.
thinking that maybe the Spinosaurus boat attack scene might be part of the third act, but now I'm not so sure. That I get a sense that it comes before a lot of the action on the
Yeah,
island,
Mhm.
but then I don't know.
confusing.
'Cause the
Maybe
little girl-
maybe the family washes up on the island and is there for a bit, and then like that's when the lagoon stuff happens.
That's what I was.
Um,
Yeah,
But then like I don't
What
know,
about the kayak?
so they're
We know
rescued
that-
from that point. Maybe
we know that at some
Yeah.
point they kayak, right?
yeah.
And the way it's described in the article with Frank Marshall is that the river raft scene will be a raft. They're not going to be on kayaks in that scene or whatever. It is a
Mhm.
raft scene. So
Oh my
the
God.
kayak scene is separate, which means maybe they're rescued from their kayaks. Maybe they, because it's a Caribbean island, we predicted that if they're a wealthy family, for example, they might do like the opening of The Lost World, where they just go to have lunch at some crazy island.
Yeah,
You
they go
know,
to have
they
lunch on the
rock-
beach.
Maybe maybe Manuel Garcia Rolfo is like, come kids, let's go on an adventure to this cool Skull Island thing.
Yeah, maybe the
knowing that-
dad like takes him down a different trail or some shit, like in Jurassic World, where what's his name? The brother when he's like,
Zach.
yeah, Zach. He's like, oh, don't you want the full Jurassic World experience? And then I don't know, takes him.
yeah, bro,
VIP.
VIP dude.
Yeah, that. I don't know. The dad might be
Well-
like, oh, let's go down here, and then Being a
Someone made a
magazine.
comment on the trailer, and they were like, "Whatever parents, allowed their children to come with them to Dinosaur Island, they deserve to have their kids get eaten."
yeah, realistically,
I'll take it.
if they
Yeah,
really
in
want
the
to,
trailer,
yeah.
we get a beautiful shot of the island daytime, very much looking like the Sanctuary Island from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I think.
Yeah.
Looks
Bah.
like they have a model of Sanctuary Island, kind of getting a sense. Well, maybe that's this. Maybe Lockwood knew about it. He probably would have known about it, right? Based on the lore,
He could have.
What
yeah.
lore?
Could have.
all the stuff that was introduced in Jurassic World trilogy.
Oh, sure,
About
whatever.
Lockwood and Hammond and Maisie and Maisie's mum. and all
Ah,
that.
My
So,
heart, Maisie. Yeah.
It looks. The island looks isolated. That's what I got from that shot. It's like, oh, this is by itself.
a tropical
Mhm.
paradise. It could
Yeah.
almost be paradise
Oh my god, JP3.
in this fucking place.
By the way, that thing in Mahershala Ali's belt, and like the next shot that we see, I'm almost convinced it's a knife now.
Convinced it's what? Sorry.
Like a knife.
Oh, oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
In
Instead
this
of, like, the
forbidden
vial that we
world
thought it
where
was, that's a
man
lot
has
of vial.
tampered with nature, or whatever it says.
So we have Mahershala Ali lighting the flare. We get the shot of ScarJo looking in fear, in shock at something, and we're on the dock here. We know this is the dock scene.
Looks like Duncan's like sacrifice almost.
Yeah, it looks like something's happening here.
Like he's leading the creature away or something.
Yeah, you get David Iacono saying the line to Jonathan Bailey, and they're all staring at.
Also, important. I just noticed this in the scene because I'm like watching it real slow, and in the background of the scene, Peyton Krebs still alive.
Martin Krebs?
Yeah, Krebs is there.
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
Peyton Krebs? Why do I know that name?
Peyton Krebs.
Oh, he's in the
She owes me
background of
money.
that?
Yeah, unless that is somebody else, but yeah, I think there's Krebs.
Peyton
behind.
Krebs is a hockey player for the Buffalo Sabres. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Jurassic Sports Outpost returns.
So we get. So they say about raptors, and then we get a shot from obviously a different environment, but Velociraptor stalking. They've recreated the shot from Jurassic Park, the kitchen scene. Raptor.
It's like a flooded building of some kind because it's water on the
Flooded
floor.
building, which-
Yeah.
Incredible CGI.
Well, think about it. Like, if they've booted the power and that restarts things, maybe it melted things on. I don't know. Maybe this water is part of that. Something melted. I don't know.
Or there was a fire and there are sprinklers or something.
all that. Yeah, all that.
Water finds a way.
It's a
Yeah.
very white-looking raptor, isn't it? Very light-colored raptor.
Yeah.
Almost very
Park
Jurassic
3.
Park 3
Yeah.
esque. Yeah, I didn't. I know you know.
Yeah.
But
What's that raptor's name?
Did you say cookies and cream?
Doesn't have one.
That's not-
Doesn't
no,
have
Sorry.
one.
it's called Velociraptor, dude. We're not.
Velociraptor female.
William or
Bring
Wilhelm.
Fellas,
back William.
Important.
Get that shit out of
important.
here! Don't. If they start naming dinosaurs in this, what are they going to call them? Mutant? Well,
Mutant.
This is the same guy that said Queppy, by the way. he
Yeah,
burnt
I actually
Queppy.
like to name dinosaur things sometimes.
I love
boy-
that they hid their Velociraptor, by the way. Like this one.
Yeah,
obviously.
people
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah, like I know they showed the two-headed one, but I love that they kept stuff away. I love that they did that.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
hide the D-Rex next time, not the fucking raptors. Things we already know what look like.
I am
That's true.
surprised that they showed that off in the trailer, and it was brief, but people can pause trailers, so it's like, you know, I
think
thought they
they're
were gonna mask
preparing-
it. I thought it was just going to be a silhouette.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Caleb.
Yeah,
I think they're
that's-
preparing people, is what they're doing.
I
especially
keep getting confused when people say D-Rex. I think of Diabolus Rex from Jurassic World. It's like, let's think of a
old-
different acronym.
We need
This
to think
is,
of a better name, yeah.
And this one's not called that, by the way. So
Oh, Caleb, do you know
Oh.
something?
I don't
Juicy
know anything,
Sclusy.
but people saying that it's called that on Twitter need to calm down. But
Okay, so fellas,
It's
let's
the
talk
Dick
about the
Rex.
scene a little bit more because the line being said by David Iacono's character, or so I think Jonathan Bailey's in the voiceover. It's these dinosaurs are too dangerous for the park.
yeah,
Okay, so that means the raptors that we're seeing might be like hyper aggressive even to the
Mhm.
JP raptors.
Yeah, so that's
Well-
some of the lore that this trailer is giving us. Is that this
Lots of
island-
world building going on here.
Yeah, some world building. That this island is an original. It's where they bred the very first dinosaurs for Jurassic Park, but they were too dangerous for the
Not
park.
at Lockwood's basement.
Take
Yeah.
that,
Lockwood's
Lockwood.
basement was where they extracted the DNA. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can
But go
you can
on.
forget that for this movie. They're rewriting that.
I'm
a
just
little
saying there's a
bit.
difference.
It's a cheeky retcon. It's just a little.
It's where they
retcon.
grew Maisie. That's all we
It's
need to
not.
know.
It's not a
Caleb's
retcon.
right, Caleb, there is a difference. There's a massive difference. Literally huge difference.
Anyway,
So they're retconning everything that happened in Fallen Kingdom in this one. The Lockwood never existed, and this lab is. But yeah, no. So what does he say? What does David Iacono say? He says, "Tell me those aren't raptors."
They're raptors.
They're raptors, and then yeah, we get that shot of the raptor, and then this sequence isn't on the dock. This is Alex sent us a map. This was shot in the backlot of Sky Studios. You can see the fence. So this is some InGen facility, and there are raptors there, just like in the Lost World Village sequence. I think it's pretty
yeah, I
cool.
was gonna say gave off village vibes, workers' village vibes.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. And what did you say the voiceover was, Assis? Where they
These
bred.
animals were too dangerous to be kept in the park.
Yeah. So going back even further in the Jurassic Park timeline.
Dude, I'm looking at Jonathan Bailey. I'm convinced this guy was like just fucking born to be in Jurassic Park.
I thought you were gonna
This
say he
is-
was grown in a lab. Is what I thought you were gonna say.
I mean,
Yeah.
the way, dude, you seen this guy's body? It's ridiculous. Yeah, he probably was born in a lab.
Keep
He's
mentioning it.
so
Yeah,
much,
dude, this
so
guy-
much eye candy in this movie and in this
Dude,
trailer.
this is ridiculous. This cast is it's so stacked. It's so stupid.
Everyone's so
great.
pretty.
No, not even like it's not like overly pretty. You know what I mean? Like it just makes sense. Like these feel
Yeah.
like humans that would be in this world, and like I believe that Bailey is a paleontologist.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is good shit, man. This is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah. And it's nice to get a night scene. A lot of this trailer was daytime. It's nice to see this night scene. It'll be interesting to see if there's a day-night cycle or if it's just day to night or how it kind of plays out. In previous Jurassic movies, you get 1 or 2 night cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if this is just over the course of one day and one night, which is how does Gareth usually pace? Like he didn't write this, but how does Gareth usually pace his movies? Are they set over the course of a series of days, or are they like Godzilla?
was.
It's quite an extended.
Monsters is set over the course of like a week or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be out of the question. Multiple. I mean, Star Wars doesn't count because they do like space travel and shit. That's like days and sometimes weeks. So definitely, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be crazy to think all of a sudden now the boat scene where everyone gets attacked is like this like after day one or like day two beginning, and like this is like the end of day one or whatever. Because like all of a sudden Martin Krebs is there in one scene, and now he doesn't seem to be there, and this seems to be like the final shot that we're like working our way into where the mutant's coming up on the dock. And I'm almost convinced that this mutant is like that mutant long arm thing that we see step out of the smoke. It looks like a foot, but like deformed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I kind of get the sense that the movie takes place across an entire day, and the final act takes place at night. I kind of get the sense that the movie's going to feel like just a day, a 24-hour period. Maybe they finally escape the island, and it's the the sky's like dawn is breaking.
Mm.
I feel like timeline-wise that might make sense for progression, but yeah. Then we're back on the dock, and you can see this is when the paw print, the giant monkey hand comes down.
The gorilla
Harambe.
And it does look big here, especially because that's its forearm. I mean, this thing is
huge at that
and it
point.
feels like
Worst is
it
the
feels
worst
almost like a
of that.
kaiju cross Jurassic Park. It's got the
Luto, like
dinosaur
Luto
reptilian
from
scales.
Godzilla's
It's
from
xenomorph Rancor T-Rex.
Yeah, I'm just counting the people on that dock because you can see 1, 2, 3. That's Manuel there in the red shirt. That's Luna Blaze. That must be Audrina Moran. Oh, she's there with the back.
Scarjo's at the pole.
Somebody else who's at the pole?
Scarjo for sure.
Oh, that's Scarjo. Okay, yeah. So then
She lives.
David Icono must be that dude. Yeah, that's. David
I think
Icono.
Scarjo is the one person who I would guarantee you is not going to die.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know actually.
No, I'm just saying she's like the others probably have a high percentage. A couple other people probably have a high percentage of surviving. A few other people, but then like Scarjo, I think is at 100%.
They should kill them all. Nobody should survive.
Rogue One style.
I agree. I want everyone but Scarjo to
Dude, keep
eaten.
everyone alive
and
except the
Scarjo
family.
to die. I think. Look, like that would be. I mean, how many movies do that? And
I think there's a non 50% chance, and I mean that in like a above 50% chance that she would eat it in this movie. Because the Vanity Fair article is saying like she wants to like work to like help people, right? Like what's the ultimate thing? Like sacrificing your life so this family can survive.
And Assis,
I don't know. It's a non thing.
Figured it out.
Assis, you've said this before, but like Gareth directed
people.
Gareth directed Rogue One, where everyone dies at the end.
Don't forget
So-
in Monsters 2, like the movie he started his directorial debut, they kill the main woman that they spent the entire movie trying to get back home. Like she's just dead at the end of the movie. So
come on, Gareth, give us death. But kill us.
Wait, no. I know what it is. So everyone dies except for Scarjo. So then the sequel is going to be her alone on the island trying to get off, just like Trespasser. We're going to get our Trespasser movie, everybody. It's happening. I figured it out. There. You're welcome.
Her and the mutant.
I wonder if it'll
Yeah.
come out that there's any Trespasser influences here.
Well, there already feels like there are with the ruins. I mean,
For
we
sure,
don't know for sure, but
I just mean like I wonder if anyone like will literally say like I was thinking about this Jurassic video game from back in the 90s.
I just liked David Cap, Steven
That would be amazing.
Spielberg, Frank Marshall sat together in a room, just smoked a fat joint, and they're
Yeah.
they're playing Trespasser, and they're like, we gotta get
Playing
done with this.
Dude, the weirdest part is
They
like
just constantly like Spielberg's like, look, point down,
yeah, check this out, dude, check this out.
They're like, come on, Steven, you gotta move her. Look down, look at her tits.
Who's got the strategy guide?
Yeah. They don't get any writing done. They're just getting blazed.
Just a hornbag, absolute hornbag.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta get Anne in a feature, and she's you gotta be able to look down. And they're like, what do you mean?
You mean Mini Driver? She's been no, I want Anne from the game, man. The game.
Anne, I want Anne in the game. Yeah. Give her the tattoo as well.
Same feature.
Little
Same
Indiana
Zora is a far distance, a great distance from Anne. It's at the other end of the alphabet.
Yeah. That's the pitch. That's how they pitched this movie. Spielberg just went in, hooked up an old monitor.
Give everyone a joint. It's like, smoke this first.
Yeah, he said everybody puff, and he hooked up the monitor and he just played Trespasser. But he didn't play it. He just pointed down and was like, "There you go."
Like,
No,
okay,
no,
so-
no, no, no.
Rebirth. What are you saying?
Female lead, I see. Okay, interesting.
All the execs are like, "Do it."
Bad. End it.
Find
End
it.
the
Oh,
pod.
that game.
They're tied. End it.
Trespasser the movie.
That
I'll
game,
take
it.
that
Yes.
game.
I'm calling it now. Trespasser the movie is the sequel. Yep, that's it.
But anyway, yeah, we're on this dock. We see this creature. We see there's a voiceover here, and then we finally get a proper look at Manuel Garcia Rolfo's character. He's next to what I think is the fuel pump on this dock, and I think it's his son next to him. And then we see a shot of the daughter, Audrina Miranda, and she's
I love that shot so
Yeah, me
much.
too. It's a
great.
shot. She's going to be great. They all seem like you were saying about Bashir. They've cast well. All
Oh,
these
fuck
people,
yeah.
They both look like genuine humans, and they also seem to all portray genuine emotion. Which
One
it's not
thing
that
I
it's
don't
rare,
get
it's just-
Terrified.
it feels grounded in this. And
I don't know if you guys have noticed this though, but there's been a lot of comparisons to this essentially being a JP3 in the Jurassic World era, I guess. Man, you're gonna do a dad character and give this guy a mustache, aka Paul Kirby? Excuse you.
Can you imagine if there's like an odd line and he's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I'm in
Painting, tiles.
I remodel bathrooms.
kitchen renovation, yeah, bathrooms."
Fix the vending machine doesn't break.
And then we get the Don Davis family theme.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. JP3 is a major influence of this movie. It's very evident.
Jurassic Park
back.
Jaden, I don't know if you noticed this, man, but JP3 is absolutely going through the Star Wars prequel thing now. It's like people are like, oh, this is way better than
I
Wars.
legit
It's not.
tweeted
I
that
know,
yesterday.
thank you.
After the screenshots came out, I retweeted a news thing that we did and how I was on the news and I was like, Jurassic Park 3 is my favorite Spinosaurus, and I got so much forced hate, and now all I see everyone is talking about the Spinosaurus. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah,
Jaden
Jaden
went-
like Jurassic Park 3
Jerks.
before was cool.
Jaden went
Yeah,
on
dude.
national television and talked about how great Jurassic Park 3 was.
Yeah.
So,
I always find it so funny because when people are like, "Oh, I love JP3," and then people give the same names come up and give people critiques for that, but they're like the people that love the Jurassic World movies. So I just can't wrap my head around that. I'm like, you're ragging on JP3,
Yeah, so
but
you're
you're a fan of Jurassic World.
hey, I was gonna
That's a
say
whole
all
other
the
debate.
Blows
all the
my
folks
mind.
who love JP3 should be really excited if we're getting another JP3.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
This is a JP3,
It's
JP4, man. Like,
true.
it's
It's
getting better.
true. I'm showing off my
this
Spinosaurus
is
tattoo,
how I'll
by
be
the way.
entering this movie. Is this is JP4? This is how I'm going to approach it. But I don't, and genuinely as well, I think they've done the best thing here. There's no retcons. All 6 movies happened, but this movie, to me, maybe it's just because it's my opinion, as I said before, but it feels like you can omit the past 3, and it wouldn't matter because everything that happened in those 3 movies, you can take it out, and this can still happen. This is the original Jurassic Park lab where they first did stuff, and the dinosaurs are mostly all here, like in the world. Most of them have either died out. So you can cut if you take that line out about well, most of the dinosaurs have died out, or they've like emigrated. Then
If you
know,
take
you're-
that line out,
yeah, but you're here, right? You're just at JP4. There nothing happened in between. It's just we're going to a different environment. I don't know. To me, it can be JP4, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There might be loads in the story that is a nod to
I think
Masrani or a nod to the Jurassic World movies.
I don't even know if it's going to be verbal, but I think it'll tie to Jurassic World in small ways, like a little more than
Hey, remember
people
that
think.
park that opened? No, I don't. Me too.
Well, but they
That
they
park that
refer
opened
to
in
it
2005. What park?
they
That's a
refer to it
Mandela effect.
as the original Jurassic Park, which makes me think that they're aware of the other things that have happened with InGen.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, the original. Yeah, definitely.
But anyway,
Why
But
can't
I
we
think-
just love everything?
I think it's a positive thing coming so soon after the last movie, but understanding it's either Spielberg, it's Kep, it's one of them. Understanding that some people didn't like the world era, and they're kind of making a movie that satisfies both. I think
Self-awareness.
I think they
self-aware enough that I
Yeah.
appreciate that, and I'm like, well, look, to me, I can omit the last three and still watch this.
I
And
I loved what Kep said, like, since I read it, about how the tone changes every 3 movies, and we felt like it was time for a tone change. Like, great. That is a perfect explanation. No questions asked.
Everything-
It's time for a tone change. Great.
Yeah, like everything Kep has been
Agreed.
saying about this movie has literally been perfect. It's almost like, why didn't you do this before? Why did we have to like wait for you to return? Why?
Because he wasn't inspired.
I
Well,
think
no,
I
a
think
lot
in the
of it-
real world they would have eventually tried to build a functioning park. Like, I think that would have eventually happened. I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Jurassic franchise is exploring at this point is exploring all the plot possibilities, because we've exhausted and contained the park storyline, and now we're back on sort of the park failed and we're going to an abandoned research facility. We're not trying
what
to
do you
open
do next? What do you do
we're not
next?
trying to open a functioning park anymore. Like, that's never going to happen again.
Yeah, they can't do
Have
that
we had
again.
any of those? Every
Yeah.
single movie, to people, would you want to call them the general audience, the people aren't like super fans and aren't fully aware of what happens in the movies. Has anybody said yet, like, how are they doing a 7th park?
Yes.
Like, how
Oh,
are
So
they-
yeah.
many times.
Oh, yeah.
Go on Reddit,
why are they
right?
opening
Yeah.
a 7th park?
They're
Why are they
opening
going
a
to
Oh my god,
seventh
I
park.
did it again. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's just a part of the formula.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're
I love
really
it.
opening a 7th park after the first 6 failed and people
Yeah, the
died.
first 6 found. Where's this one going to be now?
We
No,
know-
I think what is most interesting about the whole David Kep and Spielberg thing is I think the reason this hasn't happened already and the reason Kep maybe hasn't been involved is down to Spielberg. And I think what we're seeing in Spielberg's career now is a bit of a, what do you want to call it, when he goes back to his previous, he's like reinventing himself as a filmmaker. I don't know if that's true, but the UFO movie, everybody's saying that is like OG Spielberg, and he hasn't made an OG Spielberg in a very, very long time.
Mhm.
I feel like maybe we're getting a bit of maybe Spielberg's reached that point in his career where he's kind of going back over what made his career in the beginning, and he's like, I need David Kep to make my Jurassic. That's what you know what I mean? I feel like maybe that's why David Kep's now come up with this grand idea. Maybe David Kep had this idea a long time ago. You know?
Maybe.
I think we're so fortunate that this situation has arranged itself with all of these players involved. It's great.
Yeah, it really is great. So we were on the shot of the, what's her name?
Adrena Miranda?
Audrina Miranda. Yeah,
Yes.
love the shot. Terrified look on her face. And then we get the lighting of the flare. You see an InGen logo in the background as well
Mhm.
Mhm.
from when he was stood there last time. But this it's actually on the fuel pump.
Mahershala Ali
Engine
in that shot, man.
gasoline.
Go ahead.
And I said engine gasoline. What did you say, Aziz?
I thought he was
I was
saying
gonna
putting
say-
out the fire with gasoline. I'm like, yeah, that's a bitchin' song. David Bowie.
You know what I appreciate so far about the trailer? It's like it's taking Jurassic tropes that we already know, like the flare, and slightly working it differently. Like this time, instead of just like running away with the flare, be like, "Hey, chase me, dude!" It's like, "Hey, come swim with me." If you pay attention to the next scene, where it's showing the hybrid mutant thing walking in like towards Mahershala. Mahershala is in literally hip deep water already. That's something I didn't notice the first 3 times I watched the
Ooh.
trailer.
When he says, when he yells, "Come on!" he's kind of like floating.
So that makes me think maybe Mosasaur? Spinosaurs?
Anything's possible in
Well,
the
they're
water.
working
Water finds a
together
way.
apparently. Yeah.
Self-sacrifice? Is Mahershala Ali sacrificing himself by luring the dude into the water? Can this guy not swim? Is he not part human? Humans can swim.
It seemed like he was leading it away with the flare. So
All I can tell you by looking at this dinosaur mutant thing is you can clearly see where the Rancor is, where the T-Rex is, and where the Xenomorph are. Like
Oh,
you can
yeah.
like clearly tell, like, oh, this is just like a Godzilla, alien, Rancor, T-Rex. It's literally just that.
You get what
Yeah.
you pay for.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate
we've
the
we've
described
only seen
perfectly.
it. Yeah, we've only seen it kind of in the dark. So I guess we'll see where else it shows up.
Two
So-
things. One, I think you're right. He's definitely leading it away with the flare, which again, nod to Jurassic Park, but
Very
he's leading it off the pontoon, off the dock, and walking. He's wading through water at the time we see him here. He's trying to lead it away from everybody. So
Yeah.
I think this probably is his sacrifice scene, especially the way ScarJo delivers that line. It's almost like Duncan. He's dead, really. Duncan just
Like,
died. Like,
Get rid of the
Or like
flare!
she really doesn't want him to do that.
yeah,
Or
please
romance.
don't. Let one of the kids deal with the mutant.
No,
Yeah.
Adrena Miranda, quick,
Mar-
you're small, run.
Mahershala's
Take
gonna
this flare,
yell,
Audrina Miranda, and run.
just like Malcolm. Mahershala's gonna yell, "Get the kids!"
Well, if Colin had written this, then the kid would be able to outrun the mutant.
Oh,
survivor.
no.
No, the kid would
Stop.
say, we need fucking more teeth or whatever the hell Gray said in the movie.
maybe
Morty.
because David Quett, maybe the kid kicks the mutant in the face and does some gymnastic.
Did y'all
Oh,
notice?
oh.
Did y'all notice
You
that
don't go there.
ScarJo? Did
Worst
y'all notice
scene
that
in
ScarJo
Jurassic-
kicks the Quetzalcoatlus in the temple?
Yeah.
I did
That
not
was-
notice that. That's
Very
kicks
Dr.
it.
Grant.
yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Dude, I'll say this.
Dr.
Speaking of
Grant.
CGI, real quick, none of the CGI in this trailer is like, we don't have to like play excuse game and be like, oh, it's like a trailer. Maybe it's an early pass. No, everything so far that we've seen holds up.
It looks good.
Oh, yeah. Looks great.
I was gonna say that. Do you reckon with Duncan, like maybe that he is leading this into the water? Do you reckon they'll do a cool callback like Billy? How like we all thought that he was dead, and then at the end
Mhm.
he appears.
No, they better not do that ever again.
I rescued your
Right?
hat.
Yeah, I
No,
rescued
We
you.
need more
Mahershala's-
deaths, and we need people to stay dead. But I think it might end up being like Paul Kirby. It might end up being
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm not going
Mahershala's-
anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
He's
He runs up and kisses ScarJo and
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
He's wearing a beret, so maybe somebody else rescues his hat.
maybe
Also, yeah, dude, the fact that as someone who has to wear a beret, the fact that this guy's running around with a beret on, dude, that's a fucking
by
discipline.
choice.
Good for you,
Well,
my
by
man.
choice.
He's like
great.
running through the jungle adjusting. It's like, oh shit's falling off.
Hey, just before I forget this point, one of you said about that we're not playing like the excuse game for visual effects. One of the things I wanted to bring up was the visual effects. There's at no point in the trailer have I had the sense, like you said, it's like, oh well, they're still
You're not taken out of it.
they're still finishing the VFX. Like all of the shots look glorious. Obviously,
The
they
fucking raptor looked like the raptor claws. I'm like, that could be fucking animatronic or like the leg prosthetic. I don't know.
we
Like,
know
it
that
looked
they
so good.
we know that they've like they wouldn't put a shot in that isn't finished. They polished the ones for the trailer, but yeah,
Like Jurassic
everything
World.
looks glorious. And knowing that they didn't have a single animatronic like that we've from any of these shots in the trailer, knowing none of these are animatronics, that's pretty impressive. Like
Mhm.
it's all VFX and it looks great. This early as well. They got months to go. They're not finished. You know,
God, this movie's gonna be fucking great, man. I can't wait. You
I'm
deserve
so
this. You
excited
deserve
too. I
this.
so
can't
back.
can't wait for
Jurassic
July.
fans fucking deserve this.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
eating
we
good.
do. Yeah. The xenomorph mutant thing. Yeah, when Duncan's in the water and it's approaching. Fuck, like
Great shot.
both terrifying, very xenomorph inspired there. The small mouth with the large protruding head behind it. But it's like it's a short shot, but it's like creeping towards him.
Let's talk about the cinematography in the night scenes. The thing I love so far about the night scenes is not the fact that we're getting like night scenes. It's the fact that the night scenes seem to play a specific, like they have intention behind them. For example, when Mahershala lights the flare for the first time, dude, everything is dark. There's no like studio lighting. It's just like darkness, and all of a sudden, all you can see is whatever's illuminated by the flare. In this scene, you can't see shit. It's just the flares lighting. The lighting and cinematography on this Mwah. And Gareth Edwards, in some of the scale stuff, this guy knows how to shoot a movie. Like he
Yeah,
knows, like
so
He always
it's
has, yeah.
fuck, man, it looks great.
you're totally right. Like Gareth Edwards is he's not afraid of the dark, and that's rare with filmmakers that shoot digitally because digital cameras, they have way more dynamic range, so the blacks in the image, there's so much more detail in them, and that's why we've ended up with movies now which feel very flat. It's a very digital modern day look. When you shoot on film, you have much less dynamic range to work with, and that's why they always used to pump harsh light to get as much light as they could. But you'd end up with very, very thick, dark shadows in the image. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World, they're great examples of dark movies where the dark is actually dark. Digital filmmaking, sometimes you see night scenes now and you're like, well, that just looks like day. It's super bright, everything's lit up. Gareth being a digital filmmaker, but working with somebody who shoots film, but also being Gareth, somebody that isn't afraid of the dark. Like this movie looks so good. The dark is true darkness. You know, we're not
There's
getting
been
that
a
very bright jungle thing.
yeah, there's been like a resurgence of that kind of actual dark cinematography in the last few years with like Greg Fraser and now John Matheson, like, and Gareth. Gareth has been a huge part of that because he's been doing it since Godzilla. So
Yeah. Even since Monsters, that movie's
yeah,
dark.
that too. Yeah, true.
But you're right. Yeah, it all just looks great, and that's what I was going to say about the flare shot in the water, the red flare on the jungle ferns. Just that's such a look, you know.
Jurassic.
It's probably
So
why that
Jurassic.
was the first picture they ever shared, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali. So what do we get? We get a title card that says "A New Era" and then "Is Born," I think, is the next title card.
Mhm.
But in between those shots, we get the new vehicle, the new Jeep, whatever it is, which is in the colors of the Jeep, of the staff Jeep at Jurassic Park. I'm in a gas powered Jeep.
In that
And the
quick
power's
shot,
on.
in
Yeah.
that quick shot, it like almost looks like a Wrangler.
It does, yeah, it
Yeah.
really does. Definitely inspired by. Yeah, so those gates that the Jeep smashes through is very similar to the ones that the staff in Jurassic Park close when the Jeeps go through them, the small gates. And as you mentioned, Derek, the power is on. There's also a blue and orange light up there, very Jurassic Park paddock lights. But
Yeah.
they obviously boot up the power in this lab, or something does. But they get the power on. They get in this Jeep. They floor it.
So
Jeep
that
kinda-
Jeep is something that's just left behind on the island, right? Or is this something that they brought over? Because it has the Rex like logo on it. It's like I'm confused by.
I
It's
guess we'll
definitely
see if they
not-
carried it on the boat with them to the
So-
island.
I don't think they do because the Rex, the like
The Rex logo.
no, they're not
Yeah.
InGen either. So I don't. It's definitely on the island, but how it gets booted up, like I don't know how that's going to work.
Do we
It's very-
think Martin Krebs is InGen in some fashion?
He's bios.
maybe.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I'm just
Yeah, maybe.
speculating.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not saying this couldn't happen, but the Jeep, while it looks like it could be of any era, it's got like an LED light panel on the front.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
might not
It
be
looks
that.
too modern for trying. Yeah,
It does
exactly
look
that.
Looks very
It looks
modern.
like today's vehicle, but like
Y'all were-
a world vehicle.
Y'all have talked before about the wheelbase and how it was used in something else. What have y'all like?
Oh, the leaf springs, I think. Or
yeah,
the
that.
they weren't used. They were taken out of Wrangler. They were either taken out or put into Wranglers in like the late 90s or something. I can't remember now.
Yeah, so
But
that's
yeah,
interesting.
Trying to identify the vehicle's been tough. It's a totally custom machine, but the core base of the vehicle, we've been trying to figure out if it's like a Gladiator or what it is.
Mhm.
But I mean, the thing is, maybe this island has been occupied this whole time. Maybe there are InGen staffers that have had to stay behind to keep it contained.
Mhm.
Dr.
You know, and
Wu's
maybe-
brother.
More, yeah, more deaths to have on screen.
Yeah, maybe there's
Yes.
more people here, but I don't know. I don't think so, but that could be
Yeah.
a reason. Maybe the vehicle that was kept maintained,
Mhm.
so it does drive, and maybe they put a LED light on the front. I don't know. There's an explanation, but yeah, that smashes through the fence. You get a shot of them running. This is where the trailer becomes very Romulus-y to me.
Yeah.
It's a mess. This is where it becomes a little bit messy and kind of
Yeah, you get them
Not
running
ideal.
through like part of a lab. I mean, maybe this is where they're containing, certain dinosaurs or something. It just looks very paddocky. It almost looks like something out of like Area 51 or something. It's like a military base.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell kind of who's alive at this point of the movie, which is what I don't like about these fucking trailers. It's like if you're like have enough brain cells, you can be like, which is more than one. It's like, oh, cool. These are the last 5 folks left alive.
Yeah, so
That's
who's
fun.
there? You got Scarjo running.
You never
got
know; they could get separated or something. But
Jonathan
Yeah,
Poe.
come on. That's such copium. We know what's
Copium?
going on.
As
They
they
get-
saying copium in
that's not
2020.
copium.
Copium.
Group.
Copium!
Hey,
Copium.
the group gets separated in Jurassic Park 3. It's not out of the question.
I don't know, man.
So it looks like the shot after the one where they're running down the corridor, it's a very brief shot, is Scarjo firing a pistol.
Yeah.
Look on the left, though. Look on
I was
the
going to
left.
say, there's people there crouched down.
Eggs. Those are some
Oh, yeah.
kneecaps.
And you can see them move in that shot, in the brief clip. You can see them. Maybe Scarjo saves them from, they're about to die. And she walked.
A raptor in the fucking
Because
hallway.
as she's firing, they're lit up and you can see the heads rising on those people.
She says, "Get down," like Arnold.
Guaranteed, Derek. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a great shot. A new era is born, and then now we're at the lagoon.
We're back at the magic.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is
We
the
gotta
part that
look
got me excited. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
So that looks like the entrance or exit of one of the facilities, right? That door thing to the
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
That
Like
protruding
I wondered
thing,
what
yeah.
that was. Almost looks like the thing that comes onto the beach at the end of JP3, and the soldiers come out. What are
Yeah.
they called? Those water tank things? What are they
Does
called?
that look
Like a
similar to
landing
the?
craft, yeah.
Yeah, a landing craft. It looks like one of
Yeah.
them, but I think it's an entrance to the facility, right?
Does that look similar to the facility on the backlot at Sky Studios that Frank Marshall was sitting around, or anything like that?
It looks like it's completely CGI, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely could be. So,
I will say though, the one thing that really gets me about this scene is, yeah, the dinosaur, like the Dilophosaurus, is like really cool, unexpected. I definitely
Yeah.
just didn't expect Dilophosaur at all. Like the fact that we're getting
No.
one in this setting is
The-
very exciting. But the thing
Yeah.
that gets me is the landscape and the environment. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that there's a dock there and there's like this overgrown, and then there's like the ramp thing. It's just Jurassic Park, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this is what
Yeah.
I want. Like dilapidated shit in a jungle somewhere with fucking dinosaurs around it.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what I want.
Well, in the lagoon sequence in the book, they actually do come across like a pair of Dilophosauruses at one
Mating,
point.
right?
Who are
Yeah, it's
mating?
like-
Yes.
Yeah, they were mating. Yeah, so I guess they're kind of referencing that in this version. My theory is that the T-Rex seems like it's sleeping right behind her, so maybe she's trying to sneak
Oh
past it,
shit!
and the spitter like wakes it up or something.
Yeah, the T-Rex is right behind her
Yeah.
in that shot, like
Oh
sleeping.
my
in,
god, dude, you're
sleeping in the
probably right.
grass.
But
Holy
the thing
shit.
is, in the book, part of the tension was knowing the T-Rex was there sleeping and having to sneak past it. But if it's like this, then she doesn't know it's there. So like, which is more thrilling? I guess it's kind of hard to say. Depends on how they pull it off in the movie, I guess.
Derek, the fact that you have pointed out the Rex, I think you guys are 100% right. That's the Rex behind her sleeping. I didn't even pick that up at all.
Yeah,
That's-
and
yeah.
you're right in that the Dilophosaurus could be what wakes the Rex. A little bit
Yeah.
different to how it's written in the novel, but looks like maybe
Yeah.
the sequence where Scarjo's firing the gun comes just before this sequence, because they look like they're in some sort of tunnel that might end up being an exit, and maybe
Oh,
She
Luna
looks
Blaze
soaking
runs
wet, though.
out. Yeah, true. She does a little, doesn't she?
Hmm.
But then also when we saw the raptor shot of the raptor feet, there was water inside that building. So maybe the firearms.
come
smoking-
back in 6 months and listen to this podcast and see how correct we were about this.
See how wrong we
I know,
were about everything that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. This is going to be a great scene. What do we know about the lagoon sequence so far?
There's a Rex in it.
You mean
Yeah.
like in the book version or just this version that we're seeing?
Well, they've talked about it. So Frank Marshall spoke about it, didn't he? And he basically
Oh, yeah.
spoke about you know, how
Well, most of the article just quoted the novel, though. Like, they directly quoted the novel text.
Yeah, and they talked
So-
about how they've wanted to bring this scene from the novel since the first one and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They confirmed it outright, pretty much, that it's the lagoon thing. So
Which is, it almost seems like it's a retcon of what David Koepp has said in the past, because in the past, I swear, Koepp said, like, oh, I never wanted the lagoon sequence in Jurassic Park because it felt like it was, like, going back on the tour again, and he wanted everything to be chaos once the Rex breaks out in the first movie. So I'm like, which is it, Koepp? Which is it? Did you really want it, or did you not?
he wanted it in there now because it's cool and it's in the new
So
movie.
we know
I'm
that
fine with that.
this is probably not near when ScarJo finds these guys, because if assuming this is tied to the river raft sequence in any sort of way, we know that Garcia Rufo's character Manuel, he's in the water being attacked by the Rex, right? So you assume the Rex is woken up at this point, unless there are more than one Rex.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Well, and if it's the family in this lagoon scene and they're separate from ScarJo's team, then that kind of makes you wonder when in the movie it is and all of that kind of thing. So I don't know. Or if they get
A lot of
separated,
these-
or if they're separate at that point and haven't been rescued yet, or what. But
Yeah, it's still a little confusing the when this all happens, huh?
yeah.
It's just
Thank
like,
you
yeah.
again, Jack. Jack, this is incredible. I feel like we finally reached the future in the Jurassic Upload podcast.
Yeah.
We can see it. We can see the
n-
trailer.
A new era is born. Jack is sharing his screen with us now. So
yeah, I figured this was easier. We've reached the end of the trailer, and I'm like, oh, I could just show the guys the trailer as we're talking about it.
I've had it minimized this whole time.
Yeah, no, good. So the Dilophosaurus looks obviously like a different one. It's not the same coloring as the
it's
Dilophosaurus we
spotted,
know and love.
spotted on the
Dominion
back
one,
of
is it
its frill.
Yeah.
This looks
Yeah.
exactly like the Dominion Dilophosaurs.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think they said in the novel that the spitter was spotted, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
They didn't.
Oh
It's-
shit!
Yeah.
It's the
Not like
same.
this guy here.
It's a similar
Yeah.
model to previous Jurassic Dilophosaurs, I'm sure, but it's different colors.
And it's only the second time we've had a CGI Dilophosaurus, because the first time it was in the first Jurassic World as a hologram, because that was technically that technically counts.
True.
And then we get the shot that was released as a still, which is the T-Rex roaring at Lunar Blaze. So it's a
What a Rex! What
I
a
love
goddamn
what
animal!
a
Design.
Rex.
Looks
What
beautiful.
a fucking creature that is!
Looks
That
great.
is-
I love the
beast.
colors.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, I
Straight
love the
bitchin'.
coloring, the stripe Rex. Didn't somebody say that there's a Mattel piece that's already?
The Hammond
Very similar to
collection Rexes are very striped.
Dude, it just looks so good, man. Like
Like
are
a
you
good Rex.
kidding me?
Yeah.
God damn it! They know what they have with this movie. They know exactly what they have.
I also
been
love
waiting
the
for you.
detail that we've been given on the T-Rex. Like it looks slightly different to previous T-Rexes in the way that it's like the jaw line and the mouth. I don't really
How
know how to
refreshing
describe
is
it.
it?
It's quite
Aside from that-
reptilian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
more
was gonna say.
reptilian maybe than
Even
Yeah.
that. Thank God it's not the same freaking T-Rex.
True.
It's not
Oh.
Rexy.
I love that all
Poor
of these
Roberta.
dinosaurs. Yeah, I love that all of these dinosaurs are new. It's great.
This is exciting as hell. Like we finally, after 3 movies, have a brand new T-Rex. The only ones we've seen in the past 3 are the ones that have been around forever.
True.
This is exciting as hell.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
knowing
doesn't
that
die.
it's probably the T-Rex that, or it's probably from the same DNA iteration. Like the Jurassic Park T-Rex, Rexy, came after this version of the Rex. Maybe you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
That is so mind-blowing to think. We're seeing even more like technically retro dinosaurs in a way.
yeah.
Like genetically, like the software is not as software perfected as Jurassic Park or Jurassic World dinos. Like these guys might be fucked up, like they said in the trailers.
It kind of
Yeah.
sounds like we're getting the thing that Spielberg wanted for JP4 way back in the
Oh
day where it's
shit! You're right.
dinosaurs are more aggressive, the dinosaurs are more angry, and they've had enhanced features, and it's like, but why? There needs to be a reason. Well,
This is a great reason.
this is a great reason. They didn't breed them right to start with. There were experiment mistakes and stuff. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, maybe the
Mhm.
Rex is too lizard-like. Maybe it has like some Komodo shit in it. Maybe it like goes after prey, like everything it sees. I don't know.
The worst of the worst were left here.
That's
This is
Yeah.
The meanest.
I
This
love
is
that.
baby 4, baby. Let's give it a
Baby
round of
4.
applause.
So the next shot in the trailer is the one of the xenomorph.
Alien Romulus.
We think that this is set pre the movie. So this is
feel like
an
it has
inciting
to
incident
be.
or a flashback.
No
whatever you
way,
wanna call
right?
it. Two
I think
guys in
so.
hazmat suits, InGen logo. I know that InGen logo, you can't really get a sense of like the era because the InGen logo has changed through the years. In each movie, it's slightly different, but the InGen logo looks like kind of like the JP3 one on the guy's suit, and then you see the InGen logo from the Lost World at the bottom there on the left.
Mhm.
That
Well,
sort of thing.
and the thing is, if it is not like a prologue or something, why would they get in the suits? The characters that we do know about, why would they get in the suits and why would they go in there in the
Biohazard
suit?
of some sort, right?
Yeah, but why would they go in there though? Like, what would be the reason if it's not a
So
prologue?
I
Yeah.
don't.
Exactly.
The
Okay, maybe.
the guy in the suit that's trapped in there with the thing. I don't recognize that man. So like, I think it's somebody separate from what.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
feel like
I
it's
meant
gotta be.
for the Godzilla callback, like for the
Yeah.
start, husband and wife. That's the vibe I
Oh
got
yeah,
from that.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked that they would decide to show us that scene.
Mm.
I mean, like, not really, but like
yeah.
maybe you would assume like for a trailer they maybe put a little bit more CGI smoke in front of it, right? Like obscure it a little bit more, being like, "Whoa,
Mm.
what the hell was that?"
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying to like get this aspect of the plot in
I think
everyone's
it was Six
minds.
Triceratops who said this online today. He's like, "This movie should have done what Alien Romulus did, and not show the mutant thing and assume it was like a
Oh.
normal dinosaur movie, and then be like, oh, what the fuck is this thing all of a sudden?" That's why I think the impact of Alien Romulus was like,
I mean,
fuck
is
is-
this the only mutant though? I mean, we already see a two-headed raptor in the jar, so I mean,
I'm not going to call this a mutant anymore. I'm going to call this the Dino Human.
I do
I call
agree.
it the
I feel
monkey.
like
It's
it
got some
would've
human in it, man. I can tell right now just by looking at it. Just I can like, you know what I mean? Like it's.
I feel like it's more
fighting age
accurate
whale.
to. Yeah, I feel like it's also more accurate to not refer to it as a mutant because it's like a failed experiment,
Thing.
failed clone. It's a mistake. I'm gonna
It's
call it the
amazing.
mistake. That's what I'm gonna call
Amazing.
it.
I'm gonna call it Amy in reference to Congo. Yes,
Dude, Amy's a sick name, actually.
it's Amy. Look at her. She's beautiful.
I definitely agree that they should have kept kept Amy a secret.
Amy.
I think it would have been.
It's caught on.
Yeah. I think it would have been better to go in completely surprised, but I think one of you said earlier they're getting the audience ready.
Yeah.
They're telling us there's
Yeah.
going to be some wild shit in this one. So yeah, this shot is obviously part of a flashback. I mean, not obviously, it could be in the timeline of the movie, but it looks like
I'm not convinced.
this looks like almost like a trans. It says InGen Logistics down there, right? Alex pointed that out. It says InGen Logistics at the bottom on this thing that the mutant and the guy is in. They've closed the door on it, and it almost looks like some sort of transport cryo chamber thing. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
thick orange red light in there. You get the sense that maybe that's where they go for cryostasis, and maybe it also is able to transport them somewhere.
I bet the door automatically shuts when that thing gets too close to it, and that guy just got stuck.
So
Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
InGen bred this thing. This thing hatches or however it's created, right? And it's like a little guy or smaller version of this. They're like, okay, this clearly didn't work. Throw it in the garbage. But why did you keep this guy alive? So
I'm
you'd
sure
have to
the
assume, like
movie-
Caleb said, there's got to be a reason, right?
I'm sure the movie's gonna tell us. Yeah.
So maybe they need this guy's DNA instead of the other three.
Maybe when they first created it, it wasn't that small. Maybe it was relatively big, and then it just started growing before they could stop it.
There's
Well,
something called
yeah.
weaponry. They can just fucking, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but maybe
Well, that's what I
they
was
Maybe it'll
thinking. Maybe
happen.
they killed it, or thought they killed it, but then when they left, they didn't realize they didn't succeed in killing it. And then
Well, I
they
think
just
that
kind of
might be what this. Maybe that's what this part of what this scene is.
Go
Is we're
check it out,
seeing them try to kill the Amy.
could be.
That like maybe the
Yes.
creators of it are trying to kill it in this red death room,
Mhm.
and maybe the guy also dies. They think the mutants died. They lock up the lab, and they're like, thank God for that.
Yeah.
And then maybe we get a sense in that inciting incident. Actually, it didn't die.
It didn't die.
Maybe there's a
Yeah.
crack it somewhere, or maybe like the door comes.
Do you guys
open.
think they would show this guy as the inciting incident? Because then all of a
Yes.
sudden you would be waiting all movie, being like, "Oh, get past the dinosaurs. Let me see the fucking mutant." Or
I
like,
think
Well,
if
that's why
the
they showed it here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think if the trailer showed this and then that wasn't the inciting incident, that would, or some other prominent explanation of it. Like, I feel like if people showed up to the film and this was the inciting incident, they would be like, "What the fuck is going on?" But this is a Jurassic movie. But
I don't think you
I
can,
think
like,
this belongs
don't
in a
think you can
Jurassic
do that.
movie. So
You're right that you can see its little T-Rex arms. Its little pincer.
Yeah.
I like this design actually. I like this design a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, me too. I like this. I like the xenomorph inspiration.
It looks dinosaur enough.
When it comes down and reveals like it's
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
fucked up mouth, and that's when it's like that looks like a mutant.
yeah, it's
Well,
like
it
a
looks like
Rex
T-Rex
mouth
with a
in
tumor.
there.
Yeah, it's definitely a T-Rex's mouth. You can like clearly see the inspiration behind. You can like tell what animal it is.
It almost looks dolphin-like with the way that
With the head.
is protruding, and like
You have to wonder: is there mammal DNA? You know who else is mammal? Human.
Hey,
don't they
primates.
say
Primates.
if dolphins could come on land, they would be the dominant species on Earth? Don't they say something like that?
Yeah, I've heard
Oh.
that before. Surprisingly.
It
Dr.
might have just
Grant
been a
said that about
Simpsons
raptors.
episode. Maybe it was something I read. It could be.
Isn't
Maybe it
there
was that
something?
Simpsons episode.
Yeah, isn't there? Doesn't Dr. Grant give a speech at the beginning of Jurassic Park 3
yeah.
about
the dominant species.
the dominant species on the planet?
Does he mention dolphins?
No, he
Yes,
mentions.
he does actually. He mentions they're smarter than dolphins.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he
yeah.
does mention dolphins.
Smarter
Then
than
yeah,
whales. They're smarter than primates.
he says something
Yeah.
like if humans hadn't become the dominant species on this planet, then velociraptors would have, or something. But
Yeah.
And that's where we thought like the movies were going when Jurassic
Yeah.
World Dominion happened, but then it's like, we're all
made
we're
it
all
Jurassic-
living happily ever after.
until we
instead. It's
see
fine.
I almost said Jurassic Park Rebirth, but until we see Jurassic World Rebirth, Jurassic Park 3 remains the only film with a talking dinosaur. So
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah,
you
we'll see
wait.
what happens.
Blue kind of talks in Jurassic World. Owen's like,
yeah,
bro.
she totally
Yeah.
uses human English speech. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
she was like a
also-
dolphin, actually. Yeah.
Eggs.
But Amy is a
I-
complicated girl, I'll just say.
Yeah,
She's got a lot going on. Give her some space.
Wasn't there a gorilla named Amy?
Yeah, that's why
That's
that's
what
why
it
I
is, yeah.
referenced that from Congo.
Being like, fucked up by it, being like, dude, so it's gorilla, like it's Amy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's Amy.
it just feels right. I'm like, yeah, this is
Crichton.
This
It's
is an Amy.
You're
It's all
welcome.
Crichton.
Jesus. Yeah.
What
So
can Amy stand for?
if this scene, I mean, you guys mentioned it before, but like the opening of
Monstrous
Godzilla with the
Monstrous
wife behind the
Yankee.
locked door, whatever it is in that. I get a very similar sense from this. I don't think they're husband and wife, but I think like two staff workers, InGen workers, and one of them's like, I'm not opening the door, buddy. You
That's his
dying."
boss in there.
It's Bryan Cranston.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god, Derek. That should be
I was
Bryan
joking.
Cranston.
It should be. It really should be.
I don't know
Nice
how much
cameo.
room. I don't know how much.
Dude, I think Bryan Cranston would do it for free. Gareth Edwards giving a little thing to everyone who didn't like Godzilla for like
Kill me
Bryan
again.
Cranston too early. He's like, you know what? You
Yeah.
thought you died too early? What about this, baby?
I don't
Right
know how much
away.
room there is in that facility where the thing is, but like I would be running around trying to get away from it, not banging on the glass. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, this movie is gonna hit differently.
But let's be real. Like eventually, that thing is going to get you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is what I want to talk about. This looks sick. Also, look
Yeah.
at
Oh,
his
yeah.
legs. Jacked.
We get a
Absolutely
sense of
jacked.
the lagoon sequence
Oh,
next. And you see
the
Manuel
shot
go
with-
through a rowboat
yeah.
underwater with a T-Rex head chomping in the water. Is that the T-Rex
It's in the
foot?
bank, right?
Yeah. Is that the
Yeah.
foot of the T-Rex?
I think
No.
I
so.
think it looks like a wood, like
I
debris.
think
Oh,
that's
maybe
the
part of
claw.
the dock or something.
Just fucking incredible. I never thought I would see a shot like a T-Rex going after a dude under. Like it's just it's
That's what I've
it's
been waiting
great.
for. Now I wonder, like, why?
Fuck.
Maybe he like flipped the raft with him in it, and then maybe he fell into the water, and that's what we're seeing now is the T-Rex trying to get his little dessert.
You see the T-Rex's little arms there, little tucked
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
That's a cute.
What would we call
like-
the Rex?
No, I don't want to. Let it come naturally. Let it come naturally.
Rebirth.
Amy is enough. Amy is enough. We got Amy. We're
Stripey.
good.
We're calling him Stripey.
Oh, there
So
we
after
go.
that
That's the
great-
scene of him from the shot, right? From the photo still we got, like the set photographer of him
This
leaning up.
looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
when
this-
he's holding his
yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
Like
this is
when
by
he's
the
in it.
river, yeah, or the swamp or whatever.
So what does he say?
It says survival is we've put ourselves in a place where we're not supposed to be, and survival is a long shot.
Ha! Yeah, it's a
Or
great
we've
line.
put ourselves in an environment where we aren't supposed to be. He says something like that, but yeah.
Is he kind of like a paleontologist version of Malcolm? Which is funny
Yes.
because they kind of did that in some early drafts of Jurassic Park because they were going to get rid of Ian Malcolm as a character
they
in the
blended
movie.
the characters, didn't they?
Yeah. So that feels like they're doing it here, which is
Mhm.
fun.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
After he says that line, then it's the climactic end sequence. There's 3 Spinosaurs, a Mosasaurus, and the boat. On the boat, you can. This is what we were talking about before. You can who's on the boat. Luna Blaze is there. Bashir Sylvain. Oh, Bashir Sylvain is there, and if he gets taken out in the Ket sequence, then this is even before that. This is before Scarjo's team gets to the island, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
But
they
they
do
rec-
get split up at some point. Like they get rescued, and then they get split up again, and then they come back together again.
Hey, Kep likes to split people up, and so does
Hmm.
Jurassic. So
Yeah.
On the
Who
boat,
could you see on that boat there?
Krebs there, you've got Scarjo there, you've got, I think, Philippine Vel there, and then maybe Bashir Sylvain.
Dude, Ed Screen's the first to bite it.
yeah, you calling your shot?
In terms of the main crew, you would have to assume because, like, dude, we haven't seen shit, and the fact that I didn't even know that dude I saw was Ed Screen, I'm like, oh shit, he has hair now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was looking
true.
up
I've
for
never
the
seen him
bald dude.
without non-bald. Like, it's just weird to see him with hair.
I mean, what do we think about the Spinosaurus? Like, being a completely different version to the one in JP3. What are our thoughts about that?
I'm fine with it. I mean, everything else on this island is different, so why wouldn't they be different too?
I like it. Lots of people like to talk about paleontological accuracy and all of that type of conversation, and like these are much more in the direction of being paleo accurate, and like I think the explanation for it could work well too, about like these animals were too dangerous for the park, like they're completely new, like that whole idea. But
Mhm.
yeah, what do
Spinosaurus thing-
y'all think?
They're doing an interesting thing because I'm not too in the know on that, but I know the Spinosaurus in JP3 almost immediately when that film came out, they discovered a bunch of other things about the Spinosaurus, proving that it probably didn't
What the
look like
hell?
that in the film. And now we know the Spinosaurus is much more aquatic than the one in JP3, even though it does the whole underwater sequence in JP3. The real life Spino looked nothing like that. So I think what they've done is kind of given us the best of both in a way. I don't think this is, from what I've seen, I don't think this is as fully accurate to what the modern day belief of Spinosaurus is, but it's much more in line with a paleo.
Yeah, it's
version
not
of Spino.
it's not like fully accurate. It's just much more in the direction of being accurate.
Can I just say, cool to have. Like I said, I'm not the biggest dinosaur fan. Like, I'm not a big dinosaur guy. I'm a Jurassic Park guy. It's slightly
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? But like, I don't like the way the Spinosaur looks. It's like, I like the Spino from JP3. I don't like
Yeah.
Spinosaurs in general. If that
I'm
makes
with
sense.
you. I
Yeah, that
totally
makes
agree.
sense.
But
Yeah,
I
I
think
get that.
it's just being a not really into dinosaurs as a whole, and they're bringing back the Spinosaurus, but it looks completely different. It's just one
Well,
of
it's
those.
like it could literally be a fucking Suchomimus or a Baryonyx, and I wouldn't care. Like, that's not the Spinosaur that I
Yeah.
wanted to see or grew up with. So it's like that could just be anything. You know what I mean? Like, the Spinosaurus is such a unique thing to Jurassic. 'Cause it's so, I guess, now is wildly out of science. You might as well just stick with it.
I-
Chaos Theory did, or the Camprotatius did.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
I think there are circles where you could call this Spinosaurus very out of science, because there are things about it that are not accurate, but there are things about it that are. But I mean,
the way you could explain
Legs and arms, right?
the JP3 one, I mean, it's like they're almost doing the work here to. Maybe this is how they first bred the Spino, and like other dinosaurs on this island, it just wasn't safe to be part of a park or anything like that. It was too violent. Maybe they tried to be like, well, we want the Spinosaurs to be on land. Maybe the JP3 Spino is the result of InGen.
Okay, let's make a
It's a-
Spinosaur that's even more deadly than
it's
these
a-
fuckers.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a different
already show off.
different breed. I was gonna say, like, maybe they were just experimenting with more aggressive traits or like
Is
different
there a
stuff.
Spinosaur that's not a Spinosaur Egypticus? Is there like a Spinosaur, like, I don't know,
Not a
somewhere else in
Gypticus.
Africa?
I mean, it's called Spinosaurus aegypticus because that's where it lived, was like northern Africa area.
There's none in like there's no like Spinosaurus Algeriasaur or something.
Spinosaurus Algeria.
Oh,
No,
shit.
so like, and Spinosaurids, someone can correct me if I'm wrong when you listen to this podcast, but to my knowledge, if I remember correctly, Spinosaurids were mostly in that area of the world when they existed anyway.
Right,
So like, I don't think there's too many other like species, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Well, it's just interesting because I guess maybe that's just what fans will do, but you can almost write that, well, if this is what the Spinosaurus version 1 was, the one in JP3 might be version 2, 3, or 4. Maybe they made that so that it could be more accommodating in a park.
Oh, dude, no one thinks these things are cool. So they made a cooler version of these things. And like, oh, that's the cool thing. Yeah, no wonder.
Maybe
Yeah, okay,
they,
these are great. You can't take these off. These are
like
fucking great.
in my head canon, like InGen to me was maybe experimenting with like paleontological accuracy, let's say, and like maybe they made these and then they were like, well, actually, we'd like one that's not in the water as much.
Yeah, we want one that's not lame.
We want a land dino, not a sea dino.
Well,
yeah, there are tons of explanations, but yeah.
what are your thoughts on this, Jaden? Oh, never mind. So Jaden is having technical difficulties still,
Okay.
which is why you haven't heard him for a bit.
Fortunately.
What Jaden wanted to say with all that was he agrees the Spinosaur looks lame as fuck.
I think Jaden is hopefully also happy that just the Spinosaurus is here with us again.
But this is not
to me
no,
though.
no,
To
what
me,
I'm trying to say is-
somebody like all of us did, but we grew up with the original movies, right? And I feel like they aren't bringing back the Spinosaurus to me. This is
no, they're not. It's
They're
a different
bringing-
fucking animal now.
Yeah, they're bringing back the species. They're not bringing back the literal animal.
Which is what we wanted, though. We wanted the animal.
I wouldn't want the same one that was on Sauna to like, oh, spiny,
Spiny.
Give me his sister. Give me his fucking mom or dad or fucking offspring.
It's like a completely different species, you know. And that's it's not a criticism; it's just an observation.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
just
no, it is
it's
a
a
criticism. It looks too much like Baryonyx now.
it's a new iteration for sure.
It looks weird when
It's a rebirth.
Oh, it looks a bit. It looks more like a crocodile when it's.
That's what the title is. It's the rebirth of the Spinosaurus.
Guys, we have a quote. We have a quote from Jaden. We have a quote from Jaden.
Rebirth.
I will say, in quotes, I'm so confused, but my thoughts on the Spino, I love it, and I don't really get the hate online. Unquote. Like he said, he's confused. So he.
I agree, Jaden. I agree.
Well, I guess the thing I'm most curious about is why what do we think about the Spinosaurus teaming up with the Mosasaur? That's the thing that threw me off a bit. I'm like,
Yeah, so
what?
that is
What?
super. That's so. I mean, it's animal, right? It's animalistic. Animals in the animal kingdom, however you want to say it,
Mhm.
they do team up. They do work together.
Collaboration.
Mosasaur plays nice too. We know for a fact the Mosasaur in the Jurassic World franchise does play nice. Just doesn't like humans and like Indorexes, but like we saw it with the whales, right? It liked the whales.
It doesn't
True,
like
yeah.
assistance.
It
Like
likes
maybe
like
Mosasaur is
other
like a nice. It's like a nice dude.
it
It's a
likes
nice
other
guy.
aquatic creatures. That's what it likes. But yeah.
Yeah. So we get the Spinosaurus and the Mosasaurus attacking the boat. Philippine
Whoa!
Bell, she sort of backflips off the side of the boat, hanging on.
You're not
Spinosaurus-
hanging out of that. Your back would break. Okay, so tell me that's not a Baryonyx right now.
It's a
It definitely
Spinosaurus.
looks like. I get what you're saying, Aziz. It looks like a Baryonyx.
Yeah.
It looks way less like a Spinosaurus than the one in JP3, the one we're sort of familiar with. But when it's hanging on the boat, when she's there, that looks like. I mean, it kind of.
I like that shot a lot, yeah.
It's weird looking.
It doesn't do it for me at all. Like that's not my. You know what? Starting right now, T-shirt. Not my Spino.
Yeah, see how much traction that gets.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me alone. But guess what? Just like I was right with Jurassic Park 3,
Never
eventually
forget.
everyone came around.
Never forget Spiny from JP3.
Well, and notice the little girl has the life preserver on. In the
shit.
novel, the T-Rex grabs Lex by the life preserver, kind of shakes her around a bit, and she slips out.
Whoa.
So maybe that will happen in this sequence or in the lagoon sequence. I could see it happening in either
Also,
sequence. Yeah.
Fun fact, thanks to you guys like stopping at this specific shot, I'm just noticing right now. It looks like she slips out of the doorway in the main cabin there of the boat.
Mhm.
Yeah, she sort
That's
of slides
scary.
down when it gets knocked. The Spinosaurus are launching a dual attack, but it's so interesting seeing this frame of the Spino. This is when the Spinosaurus is clinging on the side of the boat. For those of you who are subscribed to our video pod, the Spino's like, yeah, I don't know if I like it. It in this
I don't like it.
specific frame.
I don't like it.
In this frame where it's hanging on the side of the boat, it looks like a generic dinosaur from like King Kong or something like that. If that makes sense, it doesn't look like a Jurassic. Doesn't look like doesn't invoke the same Jurassic feelings that the T-Rex design
No,
does.
it's too fucking generic, man. Like you're right, it's too generic.
She's got nothing on Amy, so
yeah,
It's not special. That's the
I
problem.
don't hate it.
Not
It's just
special.
not quite. I feel like they should have just gone for a different species. They should have just picked a different species to bring back to do here.
Yeah,
I think this is the best way you could have. I mean, design preferences aside, I think this is the way that this could have. I don't think they could have sold bringing back the Sorna Spinosaurus. Like, so if you want the species back, I think this is how it had to be.
But
Design preferences aside,
it's so different than this. So like, it's so different. Like, it might as well be an Indominus Rex type of animal.
Okay, I think that's a little far, but
no. Like, think about it.
Are you looking at it from the perspective of modern, like what we know of Spinos now in the scientific world, is they look nothing like JP3? Because if that's the case, we have to
this is not. It's not supposed to be scientifically accurate, anyways. It's
I'm not saying that's what they're going for, like in the plot. I don't think that's
no. But with bringing back the Spino, you said that this is like the logical way to do it. But
I disagree.
No, I'm not saying logical according to us. I'm saying according to like when you're writing a story and trying to get a studio to make it. Like I think
Why couldn't you just put a normal JP Spino in it though? Like, the entire appeal of having the Spino back again was seeing the Spino back, not a Spinosaur. Like, I don't care about the Spinosaurus as a species, like Jack said. I care about the Jurassic Spinos.
Yeah. I wanted to see
two of them.
Spino. Even the one in Camp Cretaceous annoyed me because it wasn't the same coloring. It wasn't quite the same.
Dude, at least it fucking looked like the
Saurus.
Yeah, this is like an entirely different. This could be this could be fucking Crocodilianosaurus Spino. I don't know.
Crocodilianosaurus Spino.
Like it looks like a big crocodile, and you could have just replaced it with like a Sarcosuchus. like everyone wants to see one of those big boys, right?
So I wish there was a Sarcosuchus in this movie. That would be sweet.
You know what we do got? We got Scarjo with a big gun and she looks badass with it.
No, we're not talking about the Spinosaurus.
No, I was gonna say y'all are really upset
Trash.
about the
Movie sucks.
Spinosaurus, but y'all are gonna like it more when it wrecks this boat and eats
No,
people.
negative. I won't. I'll
You're
never love
gonna
this
like
thing.
it.
I think the JP3 Spino did some pretty good damage to that boat, and those people in
That
JP3.
boat was made out of metal.
No, I know.
This
I'm not.
boat's made
I'm
out
just
of fucking
saying
plastic.
this Spino. I'm saying when you see it. I'm not.
Yeah,
talking
no,
about the other
I'm
ones.
sure this is going to be solid. I feel like there's no reason they couldn't have brought back the JP3 Spino. Trying to convince I doubt film studio execs care
They don't
about
give a fuck.
the dinosaurs need to be scientifically accurate. Maybe one of them, but like
Just one.
So
if they're
you're
bringing- you know
you're
what I mean? Like,
saying
because
you
they're
would
bringing
rather
back-
it
the Spinosaurus already exists in the franchise, and that's
right.
the dinosaur and what it looked like at the time, and
That's
what
in the
I
InGen
think-
databases.
that's
Yeah.
in the Jurassic Park lore. That dinosaur exists.
I
It's
think what-
real, it exists, and now they've done a completely new iteration of
Yeah.
Spinosaurus, which is fine, and maybe it's to satisfy the
But it misses the point.
paleo side of the audience and people that really into paleontology and stuff. But
Maybe they'll change it just like they changed Sonic in Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe this is a Sonic situation, and they're
if
gonna
there's
go
enough
back.
fan
Yeah.
complaints, they'll remodel it. Yeah.
So
Well, no,
you
if you
so
had like the JP Spino would have fucking wrecked this boat in like 2 seconds. 3 of them, forget
there's
about it.
no
dude.
reason to think
They'll
these
be so dead.
Spinosauruses are any less capable. But what you're saying is like you would love it if it wasn't the same Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, but that like it was that like
That
iteration.
style.
clone of form and it looked like that is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
that's what the Spinosaurus in the Jurassic Park era is. And
No,
we
I
haven't
get
seen-
that.
We haven't seen one in like the world era. They didn't make one at the Masrani Park, so we don't. If they updated the design for that, then maybe they had a logical explanation. But bringing it back now, but going back to an island where they first made the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park, I feel like I'll need some sort of explanation as to why this exists.
I think
There's zero
the
reason, zero
explanation is that these dinosaurs were too dangerous for the park and they have more aggressive different traits.
So you
maybe.
made an even more dangerous animal on the fucking island that is designed to put the animals on the park. So you wanted that Spino instead of these Spinos. That Spino almost caused an extinction on Sorna. So you want
Well, he
that
was
on the
another
park.
mistake.
Well,
They were all
no
mistakes.
no reason to think either Spino is
That's
more
the problem
capable
with
than
what
the
David
other.
kept wanting to
But
say. We have
sure.
constant stuff. At some point, we have idiots like us who will like connect stupid dots like this, and like all of a sudden things were like don't make sense, but they don't think about like levels of details like we do.
They wanted us to get angry, damn it. They wanted us to squabble and turn against each other.
Everyone was
Awful.
like, "Yo, I love the Spinosaur, dude." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, well, yeah, Spinosaur, yeah." Can't
I'm
wait.
happy the species is back. That's
Man,
what
the
I'll
species
say.
are all dead. The representatives won't hear you, Caleb. They don't care.
Oh, I see.
So
yeah,
we're gonna
It's definitely-
Sonic the Spinosaurus. Then we're gonna Sonic it. We're gonna
God, I hope
make
they do.
them make it right. Make it right.
I just feel like they should have probably just chosen a different species for this sequence.
Agreed, Jack. Thank you.
Just maybe because it's I don't know. I'll need some. If they're going hard sci-fi with this, maybe there'll be a line about it. Maybe there'll be some information in the lab about it. Maybe something like this. Maybe there's more to this movie. Maybe this Spinosaurus iteration was bred recently. Like maybe
It's
You know what
more
I mean?
aggressive and dangerous.
Maybe he's just a piece of shit. Like,
as Assis said, the one in
absolute garbage.
JB3 nearly
Assis
nearly
clearly
wiped the
hates
island out, so that one was
this
pretty
new
dangerous.
animal.
I hate the Spinosaur. I don't like it because it looks like literally the Baryonyx and Suchomimus concept art. So I'm like, dude, if you're gonna make all these guys, if you're gonna like do them, at least make them distinctly different, other than just size and the fin. That's all I'm saying.
And the tail is also quite different as well. It's more like a
Yeah, tail is different. It's
Long.
more like a paddle.
Yeah, it's like
I think Jaden's connection is back. Maybe.
Am I
a little
good?
bit. Hello, Jaden.
Jaden.
Hello, I'm so sorry, by the way. This
I
is
Tell
think-
me why you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
actually like the Spinosaur.
yeah, I
You'll be good if
actually-
you share your dinner with us.
It's actually my breakfast. But yeah, I like
oh.
it.
Future
I like
boy,
this-
yes.
I like the Spinosaurus, but yeah. Anyways, I do like the Spinosaurus design here. I know, like, I completely agree with what Aziz and what Jack's saying as well. But as you know, as a Spinosaurus fanboy, I'm happy it's back. I would like to see, them explain what you guys just spoke about as well. I think that we do need that. especially because we are idiots. They're going to connect the dots, and it's not going to make sense, then we're going to be like, well, that's stupid. But design wise, I like it. I fuck with it. At the end of the day, I feel like Jurassic Park 3
Really?
Spino is it's too OP. It took down a Rex.
Oh.
So maybe they're not gonna. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this one is like overpowered, but like
Who said that
not
Rex
that
was a
overpowered.
champion? Why is this coming up again? Like, I
That's
hate
what I'm
this.
saying.
This Spinosaurus sucks.
What happens? What happens next in the trailer?
You want to move
Scarjo
back?
with the big gun. I
know,
was
I got
trying.
some more points about it.
Who is Spinosaurus?
We're
dude?
so
Fuck this guy.
we're like we've been on this end scene of the trailer for like 30 minutes.
No, this is important. You have two Jurassic Park fanboys on this.
I know.
on
I'm
this
just pointing it
podcast.
out.
I do. It is interesting. I do think they should have chosen a different species, but whatever. I mean, it might work really well. I have no issue with the Spinosaurus returning or being more scientifically accurate. Just in the lore of what we know so far, there needs to be some sort of.
You know what? I have a problem.
That
with
makes
it,
sense.
actually.
How the
Science,
JP3 one came to be and how this one.
science has made dinosaurs less cool. Fuck it. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't know what
I
you're
don't
talking
care.
about.
Like these fat lumbering dudes. Yeah, it's accurate. Like cool. Yeah, dude. I'm watching a movie. I'm not watching Walking with Dinosaurs.
Oh, but I want to.
So we
No,
can
I
agree
don't.
that
I'm
there should
watching
be like a
Jurassic
mix
Park.
of the two, science
No, I
and
want
fiction.
Dude,
Science
I
and
don't
fiction.
ever want to see a new species. Like I've said this many times on the podcast. The original species of dinosaurs they found in Jurassic Park, like the amber species, that's it. There's no
Yeah.
more because like the government banned it, like in the novels or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah,
Jurassic-
like dude, the original guys who look like fucking like lizards and shit. It's for a reason. It's not like because at the time the science was like not accurate. But like in hindsight, it's like because they filled it in with amphibian DNA, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes sense. They don't have feathers all of a sudden. Feathers don't. Yeah, they're not cool.
Yeah, agreed.
And
You're fucking
here we
lame.
have
Come at me. Come
here
at me.
we
You
have
know where I live. Come at me.
ScarJo looking into the sight of her gun on the top
Yeah,
of
so
the boat.
back to the
Scarjo also.
Spinosaurus.
Yes, the
No,
gun.
yeah. The next shot
I'm
is
looking
very
jacked here, by the way. It's looking strong. That's a big arm.
yeah. This is very Lost World coded. This is
Oh,
is
yeah,
Sarah Harding
Sarah Harding.
firing the
Sarah
train.
Harding wishes she was ScarJo, dude.
I think it's the other way
It's
around.
Kind of Jaws coded in a way too. If
Yeah.
you think about it, especially because it's on a boat.
Very
Jared-
Jaws coded. Gareth spoke about that in the
A
interview.
lot, eh?
Mm.
Quint.
Main inspirations.
She's
for this
like
movie
she's
were-
like Brody, right?
Yeah,
well, what did
Brody.
he say? It was like when they were making Rebirth, it was Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Jurassic Park. That was like
Yeah.
the three. That was the trio of movies they were using as inspiration. I mean,
Holy
fuck
Trinity.
yeah, man. David
You
Leitch would have
nailed
been
it.
like
You nailed it.
Jason
It looks like
Bourne.
those movies.
Mission Impossible. Like
No more Mission Impossible. No more Fast and Furiouses. We're back to the classics.
that's what I mean. That's what Leitch would have been like. What was your trio of inspiration films?
Oh,
You like
John
that?
Wick, the movie I directed.
John Wick, yeah, the Fall Guy.
Atomic
my own
Blonde, the
film.
other movie I directed, and then maybe for a classic, fucking the
The third Thor movie.
sure.
Well,
Or-
he also technically directed Jurassic World second unit, so he could just say Jurassic World again. You know.
Who, Leitch?
Yeah, he did.
Leitch, yeah.
Oh, that's right. There
he
was a
shot the
connection.
Mercedes Benz commercials.
That's right.
We're talking about David Leitch during our analysis of the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, we can't give away. He's going to be an
You
interesting.
can't get over him. We just can't get over him.
Imagine if they give him a sequel. Oh god.
Let's not
I don't
do
know, man. I
that.
think this movie makes sense for him. It wouldn't have looked as cool, but like definitely would have made sense. That's a big arm, by the way. Just everyone go look at her arms.
So we got ScarJo. We've got her big arm. We've got the gun. She's
It's a
on
big
top
arm.
Of,
That's a big
looks like
tricep.
she's on top of the boat here. This is obviously firing at the
Yeah.
Spino. Maybe this is after Audrina Miranda's dropped in the water. She's gonna.
Good drills too. Good
shoot the
drills.
kid. I meant to get the Spino. But,
She's keeping the gun pretty steady. I like that. Good drills. Clearly can tell she was in the special forces or like army, so that's fucking dope for me.
yeah,
Obviously.
she's aiming it up.
Oh, look at that fucking reload! Oh, baby,
Yeah,
I didn't
did
see
you
that.
reload on the back. It's like
Look at that. She didn't even like that's good drills. Look at this. Babe, oh, bam. Just cock that shit back. Action forward. But I'll say this though. ScarJo is I'll say this. MCU, not a big fan. I'm glad it exists because it gave ScarJo the training necessary
Yeah.
to fucking crush. Like, look at her. She has like a face of like she's a killer, man. She's a shooter.
And that's her on the front of the boat there as the Mosasaurus rises up.
Oh, she got knocked down.
And that's the
Yeah,
end of
this
the
movie is
trailer.
gonna. I just don't see a way that I'm gonna walk away from this movie being like, yeah, this movie's bad. Like, I don't care if the script sucks. Like, dude, are you kidding me? You kidding me? I can see what I
Look
see.
at that Moza. Look at that girl.
Mota looks somehow
Or boy.
more reptilian and more marine reptile than the previous one. It looks even more animalistic and more.
It does for
Looks
sure.
incredible.
Crocodilian
More smooth
inspired.
looking,
Yeah, it looks like more. I mean, looks
like a
more in the
whale.
direction of the ancient version, to be honest, a little bit. But it's still way too big. But yeah,
Aside
not that
from
it
size,
matters. But
like, you know what I didn't like about the original mosasaur we got? It was like it's scaly and shit. Most marine reptiles are very smooth and stuff, right?
Yeah.
this
This
looks,
is much more in line with a whale.
yeah, this looks more in
Yeah.
line with like a marine and an ancient marine animal or a whale. Yeah, for sure. It looks more fishy, fish-like.
And
in
this is
color.
we were made an assumption when they were filming in Malta. I don't know if you remember in the Malta tank they had
Yeah.
Mhm.
Scarjo even spoke of this, but they had a platform in the tank. And then they fill it with water. They obviously attach the boat to the platform, and then they can manipulate the boat in the water of the tank, which is how you create
The waves and
the
shit.
motion of like, oh, a Spinosaurus jumped out of the water and hit the boat. They do it with the boat's rigged to something, and then it kind of yanks the boat in the water. And I think it's such an effective way to. I mean, the actors on the boat are all experiencing that for real. Those movements, so it's gonna look great. And I can't wait to see it all come together. That's the last shot. The Mosasaurus obviously slams down next to the boat. We get an updated Jurassic World logo. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Gross.
Yeah, it's updated from the initial one they released. A
It is
little
updated.
tiny
How's it
bit.
updated? Is it
Yeah,
not
just
the
the
same?
Thinner
lighting, right?
lettering. Yeah, the lighting's slightly different. Thinner lettering. I think
It's
the
not as
Jurassic World
dark.
text is brighter.
I
Same
liked,
video game color scheme.
like, font design issues aside, I liked the way it sort of came into the frame and animated. It was pretty cool.
Me too. Yeah, I like it the way I like this whole sunburst thing that they're doing.
Jesus
Yeah, and like
Christ.
the lines going through the Jurassic World
Based off
letters.
the lighting in that scene, it almost seems like it's like the sun's about to set soon.
Mhm.
of the this scene.
Yeah, like that. It seems like towards the end of the day, like you've
Oh, like a
clearly had
lowish
lunch at this
sun.
point. You've rescued the family, and now you're like on the way home. Oops, got ruined. Now it's nighttime. We're stuck on the island again.
Yeah, maybe their boat gets destroyed. Oh, maybe that is what happens. Yeah, maybe they rescue the family. They're about to leave. They get attacked. All of their equipment has been destroyed.
And then they're
what did he say?
screwed. Damn, there's a movie.
Now we're stuck here thanks to you people.
Hey, their dish
Stuck
is bigger
together.
their dish is bigger than yours. You think?
You looking for a problem?
Found you, didn't I?
And
Damn.
the theaters July. Dolby
Yeah.
Cinema, Real D, 3D, large format, 4DX, and ScreenX.
Oh, 40x. You know how
Yes.
we're gonna watch
Yeah,
this.
Why does
The
it just
watch.
say July though? You would think it would give the actual date like they usually do.
Well, I think because
Pushing it.
I know that they obviously do
July
different trailers for
27.
different regions, but
Yeah.
in some
Mm.
countries it is releasing on different days. So I think it's probably just a trailer for
Catch
everybody.
all.
Yeah,
For
releasing
everybody.
in theaters July 2nd to 4th. Or
Yeah.
something. Isn't it coming?
It's July 4th weekend is what you could say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. What the hell is Screen X?
No idea.
I think it's just like another larger format type thing, like bigger screen, different sound type of a situation.
Yeah, I think it's
Why?
where you have the middle screen and then like the two side panels.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Isn't that IMAX? Oh no, I guess that's
No, it's almost like Cinerama, that old, thing they used to do where it was
Ooh.
almost like, yeah,
almost like a wraparound.
yeah.
Is there no IMAX for this movie?
It's not
They should
listed.
permit.
I
It
would
doesn't say IMAX, but
Yeah.
as Caleb said at the beginning, large format could encompass IMAX.
Let's go to their
Oh,
website.
It's, yeah, I would Jurassic has done IMAX so much. I would be surprised if it didn't, but I
The
would
issue
not
is
I
this
would be
Fantastic
okay if
Four,
it didn't. I wouldn't be
Superman.
like upset if it wasn't an IMAX, but because I can
I
go
would
see it
be.
in Dolby or whatever else.
I
But
want my ears to bleed.
So far, it's not on
Yeah,
their
so do I.
website. Yeah,
yeah,
Not on IMAX's site. Okay.
no,
I
that's
don't
think
it
that's
will be
a
there.
little
I'm
concerning.
not too I'm not
That's-
fussed about that. I like watching movies in the traditional way.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't
No,
care if it's an
40X
IMAX
then.
or if it's in 40. I won't be
40X.
seeing. I mean, if it's a great movie, I might see it 40x. But I don't traditionally go and see 3D versions or any crap like
I'm
that.
gonna
But
try and beat my record of 18 times with Dominion.
Literally, the
Dang.
world
18
record holder.
18
Not even
times.
Colin
Seeing
Trevorrow saw it 18
Hey,
times.
Dominion. That's the prequel to this movie now.
No, it's not. It's called Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park
JP3
3
is the
should be
prequel to this one, mate. No, seriously, 18 times Dominion.
I enjoyed that theatrical experience. I've seen every Jurassic movie that I've seen in theaters. I've seen it like a bunch of times just because I love the theatrical experience no matter what movie it is, but like I want to remember seeing
It's your
Jurassic in a
franchise,
theater.
after all. This is your franchise.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I totally own this franchise. No, I
I feel
do
like
not,
this
but
this frame right here is like I'm doing a trailer review.
Yeah, you are.
Dude, you kind of do.
Oh my god. That's what I should have done with mine.
Thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's the thumbnail for the podcast, dude.
Oh my god. Whoa. Oversell it. Oversell it.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that it not being IMAX, if it's not an IMAX, I would be surprised if it's not. At this point I would kind of be surprised if it is, just because they're not really marketing it that way. But like
Yeah.
that kind of it not being an IMAX,
Box
IMAX
office.
is a big thing that these big blockbuster movies do now. And so like if it's not an IMAX, that kind of makes it feel different, makes it feel more contained, smaller, like it's a different thing sort of
Interesting.
to me. I don't know.
But you're gonna miss out on some box office dollars without the IMAX, which is concerning. But you wouldn't
Yeah,
have
that's
done it for
possible.
long
I-
anyway.
yeah,
If the
I don't know.
Superman comes out, or like if one of those fucking superhero movies comes
Yeah,
out,
it's the next weekend.
Like
Yeah.
I said, I would be surprised if they don't put it in IMAX. But yeah,
you would get 7 days probably at best,
yeah.
which is lame because superhero movies suck.
Somebody tell. Okay, so quick, two things, right? Overall thoughts on the trailer. For me, I love the trailer. I actually really do like this trailer. I need a few days to
Yes.
properly digest it. I need some time to
Yeah.
like think about it. But I've enjoyed it today, but I will say that it didn't hit me in the same way the 28 Years Later trailer hit me. Like that was just a fucking excellent.
No way, dude. Get
That was
out of town, man. You're just
that was
fucking
put
jaded.
together so well.
No.
That was such a cool trailer. That was the way to do a trailer. There's nothing wrong with this trailer. I just feel like that 28. They struck gold with that 28 Years Later trailer.
Really?
This one,
The tone,
Yeah, I
the
think so.
tone.
Dude, this one
like all of
fucking
it just cut
dude, this
together.
trailer, it's hitting me in special spots.
Are we?
This one is great. It's just it didn't hit me like that 28 Years trailer, but
think
I
you're
do
just
like.
jaded, dude.
I love this trailer. I think it's great.
You
I think
said two things. What's the second thing?
there's a new synopsis.
Yes,
What?
that's true.
Do you have it?
It's a slightly.
Oh.
It's not necessarily a new synopsis. It's just a slightly updated synopsis.
You
Yeah.
changed
What's
disease
the
to cancer.
change?
It just updated sort of with some of the information we know now. I think they were keeping the information they updated it with out of the synopsis to keep from spoiling people before the
shit.
trailer, I guess, or something. I don't know, but let me see if I can find it.
Okay, and they also, just for listeners out there, in case you didn't see it, we may have mentioned it at the start. They dropped a poster, pretty standard poster affair, I would say.
Standard Jurassic poster.
Standard Jurassic poster, just a black background. The logo.
I've got the synopsis if you want it, but yeah.
Oh, go for it. Also, at the bottom it says this film is not yet rated, so it could still be rated R.
Also, I think Caleb's wearing a Roosevelt shirt.
I am wearing a Roosevelt's when
Like I just
dinosaurs
showed the
ruled
boys, I
earth
got a
shirt.
couple of my own.
Oh, that one's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the synopsis is basically the same. I think they updated some stuff about the cast because I think it already said iconic action superstar Scarlett Johansson, but now it says Emmy and SAG nominee Jonathan Bailey. I don't think his award nominations were there before. And then after that, it says, this action-packed new chapter sees an extraction team race to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park, inhabited by the worst of the worst that were left behind. And then, hold on, sorry, the Jurassic World Rebirth thing is playing on this website through my headphones. Sorry. I think basically the rest of the synopsis is the same.
Okay, so just a minor update there.
Yeah, because after that, it just goes on to list all of the cast and the director, and it's written by David Koepp and all that stuff. So yeah, just updated with that new bit about the island. So
Caleb, tell me, did you like the trailer?
Yeah, I loved the trailer. Yeah.
You've watched it a
Um,
bunch of times.
yeah, I think it's edited and cut really well. I think the music fits it perfectly with the way it's cut and it does what a trailer is supposed to do, which is build hype and that
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Tell a bit of the story, but not reveal too much. I think it's done that pretty well. We are
Yeah,
told
yeah.
we're shown the hype with the mutant thing. We're shown Amy. We're shown
Sean
a few things,
yeah.
but
The camera work is just gorgeous, and I'm not gonna shut up about it. Like, it just looks so good, and I think the dinosaur, like, we'll put the Spinosaurus aside for a second. Like, I think the Titanosaurus looks fantastic. Like, I think the Quetzalcoatlus just looks colorful and great. The T-Rex.
well, hang on. That's an interesting point, right? Spinosaurus, and you said about Spinosaurus. Now I can't get out of my head. But the Titanosaurus,
Yeah.
and I had described how for me it looks like a completely different sauropod species because it is, but it's so different to the other ones that it works.
Mhm.
Imagine that this was a Brachiosaurus, but they just completely changed the design to what we're seeing in the
I
trailer.
would.
That's kind of what the Spino thing feels like.
I understand. I think but I think
Except it's ugly and lame and fucking gross looking.
Hold on. I think something that bolsters your point is that the Spinosaurus is a more like fans cheering for it, fans remembering it dinosaur than a lot of other Jurassic dinosaurs. I would say it's probably above the Brachiosaurus because the Brachiosaurus's design changed in Fallen Kingdom. And so like,
I don't think anyone noticed.
well,
Aside from like the hardcore, I didn't know.
It's different, but it's still sort of the same. So like, I would honestly tell you that I might not be that upset if a Brachiosaurus or something else showed up and it had a different design. But like, I think the thing that would upset me, and it would upset a lot of people, is if they like completely changed the Rex design. That would be a disaster. But
yeah, that's like kind
Yeah.
of when the leaks were coming out early days. It was like, hey, the dinosaurs are completely different. It's like, okay, they're different, but not that different.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and that's the
God.
thing. T-Rex is the T-Rex. You can see that, but the
That's a fucking
differences on it,
JP Rex.
yeah, the differences on it are going to be minor. And like we're seeing around the lips look a little different, things like that. And I think that's a
Might have
great
a
way to do
fat
it.
neck apparently.
yeah, and
Not
with
doing
that,
what was it Collect Jurassic or someone that posted a picture of like a T-Rex with spikes all over its back saying like
oh yeah,
Jurassic World Rebirth. It's like no, that's not.
No, it's just
Yeah.
a normal fucking Rex, dude.
and I think with
All
that,
right. Yeah.
with that in mind, like, I don't know, y'all's. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that y'all don't have a very, very valid point on the Spinosaurus. Like,
Here we go.
there you go. Like, I just like it, the new one.
We really
Yeah.
are back to the Spino.
We always come back to it.
Derek, did you like the trailer?
Oh yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It definitely had things that got me excited, like the lagoon stuff and other throwbacks to the original park. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because it's technically the best made Jurassic trailer, since like the original trilogy. But yeah, like Jack said, it didn't quite hit me with the same excitement. I think because when the Jurassic World trailer came out, that was after 14 years of waiting. Whereas this, it's just been a few years. So it's almost like, oh, I'm excited
And-
for the next one kind of feeling.
And there's a bit of fatigue for some people. Not everybody, but some people are a bit fatigued with this. And now it's like the 7th movie in the franchise. You're almost like coming into it with a negative attitude. Whereas,
Yeah.
I was talking with some
trailer is-
folks in the Jurassic community, and I was like, we're in another Jurassic movie promotion cycle already. It's already back again.
Yeah.
What are you
and-
guys doing already? What's this already talk? Like, dude, I've been fucking waiting for this. I want a movie every year. What are you guys talking about? You
I was,
guys are
I
nuts.
was like getting ready when they announced Kep, and when it was Gareth Edwards, I was like, I'm
No,
outside.
you
the
guys are literally insane. This is the exact opposite of how I feel. Like you guys could not be more wrong in my eyes. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. In fact,
a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
but you know what? My girl Amy has hope for me that there is at least something new. Because I mean that's the thing that I'm happy reading. In the Variety article and stuff like that is that Kep had a story to tell. Because that's the thing. Like if you're gonna go to movie 7, please have a story to tell instead of just doing it because. And that's what I'm still, been waiting to see. Like, is there a story here? And I feel like with this trailer, they are showing that there is a story here. So that does have me excited. But I need more. I want more.
And also, I think, was it you, Derek, that commented maybe some of the humor in the trailer, there was maybe a bit too much of it, but
yeah, but again, like when you
It's
cut trailers, yeah, it needs to be in the context of the movie. So I'm not really harshly judging the humor right now, but hopefully it'll work better in the movie. So I'll wait and see on that one.
I think it's
Yeah, definitely.
unbalanced in the trailer, and like it'll
I
be
mean,
more
we know how
balanced.
Kep writes. Like the
Yeah.
fact that he has like 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5 lines that don't literally work in like a trailer context, I'm not worried because the guy literally writes like 1,000 lines. Because like there's 4 people talking on screen at once sometimes because of how Spielberg like directs, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
three double cheeseburgers with everything. No
No
onions
onions
on
on mine.
mine.
and then
That's
turn
like
it
multiple
over.
people talking at once, and it's sort of a quippy humor thing.
It's just
See,
kind of how David Kep writes. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of what you expect, right? So, not
But
a
see,
bad-
if they used that exchange in like a trailer for The Lost World, that probably would have felt weird. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
what is that? An apple turnover.
Yeah, that we would have been like, oh, this movie's gonna be awful, if we just saw it. So that's what I mean. It's kind of like it's hard to do that in a
They're
trailer.
talking about Big Macs in a Jurassic movie. What are we doing?
Product
No,
placement. Oh my god.
That movie
It's,
tied in with McDonald's a lot, didn't it?
No,
Burger
Burger
King-
King. That's what
Burger
was
King. Oh,
weird.
that's right.
BK is the best.
Which one tied in with
Screw it.
McDonald's? Jurassic Park?
Yeah, the
Uh,
original
Kim-
Jurassic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where did Jack
We
go?
lost our host at the end.
He left us. He left us. He left
so
us.
yeah, I think the original Jurassic Park.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Assis, just quick. You like the
Yeah,
trailer?
bro.
You like the trailer?
Fucking, I love this trailer, dude. This is No, I'm fine. We're good to go. Except for the spine sword, we're good to go.
Yeah, all right. To those listening out there, do you like the trailer?
We're
We
waiting
await
for
your
them.
response.
It's like Dora the Explorer, just kind of speaking. And
No,
yeah, no.
Lily Miranda is fucking. She's like Dora. I just figured it out. She's like with a backpack. She's like a little Dora.
Oh, yeah,
running
Dora
around.
the backpack as well.
We got Dora the Explorer in Jurassic
Audrina
Park.
the
Look at this.
So yeah, to anybody listening out there, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think of the trailer? What have you thought about everything we've discussed today? On the Jurassic Outpost channel, you can check out the trailer breakdown where we break it down clip by clip, scene by scene, shot by shot. There's a few hidden things in there. Alex spotted the InGen logistics thing. I would never have spotted that. It's such tiny text.
Hidden Mickeys too. Just kidding.
And
yeah,
sneaky tiny.
any final thoughts, guys? Anything else you want to wrap this podcast up?
Announce the composer.
Please.
That's my thought.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
No
let's talk about this
composer
like, real
announcement.
quick before we wrap. Why? What's the? Do they not have one? Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know that there's
William,
some.
That's
Yeah, I don't know that there's some drastic reason or that something's wrong. I don't think that's true, or like I don't get that vibe.
you can like find Alan Silvestri on the side of the corner.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but there are a few folks I'd be open to. So I'm just, and it seems like, an update that we've gotten in the last few days is Giacchino's like commenting and talking about Fantastic Four. So we know,
Thank God.
and so he hasn't done that with Rebirth, and I think he would. So like, I don't.
We know it's not Giacchino.
Exactly.
Wait. Caleb, what's his kid's name?
Mick
Mick.
Giacchino.
Mick. Okay,
I
check
think
his Twitter. Make sure
yeah.
he's not fucking scoring this
Well,
bitch.
sure. I don't. No offense to anyone, but I don't want him either.
Yeah, no shit.
He's a talented.
Maybe someone.
Way too
Oh, yeah,
new.
sorry.
Way too new.
He's a talented composer. He did the Penguin series, but like,
And Skeleton
let's-
Crew.
I'm not a fan of.
I mean,
No,
Skeleton Crew
again,
sucked.
no offense to anyone specific, but I'm not a fan of nepotism.
Star Wars sucks
So
season.
like, let's get somebody new in here.
Maybe what happened was
No,
someone
no,
else
no,
scored
no,
the
no,
movie.
Jonathan Williams, Johnny B.
Jonathan
man,
Williams. Hey, it's in case we don't get another podcast out by then. Johnny Williams' birthday is Saturday, so
Happy birthday!
happy 93rd birthday to John Williams.
His
Of course.
93rd birthday, and he's still composing Jurassic World movies. That's
Let's hope. Hey, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
He skipped all the
Hey,
bad ones.
He's
Good
the
man.
age. He's the age of the year that Jurassic Park came out. He's 93. So
I think it is. I think it is Johnny Williams, right?
He
I
went
think
by
it is.
that.
It was.
He
yeah.
went by
It's
that
gonna be
originally
dude,
when
it's
he
gonna be
first
like
started.
a deadline article. It's gonna be a variety article first. It's gonna be like a big deal for a couple. No, it is. It's literally gonna be a big deal because people are like, "Oh, John Williams, fucking 125 years old, he's doing Jurassic World, man."
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
and
No.
New
they'll
one.
promote it as back for one last Jurassic or something. It'll be
Mm.
like
Or like
it's
even at least like a theme,
John
like
Williams
Argo's
bids
theme.
goodbye to Jurassic Park or something. It'll be a
Like,
send off. I think.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
The theme. I don't know.
All right, that's about time to wrap. Spinosaurus aside, let's wrap this podcast up. Thank you to everybody that's listened out there. This is a long one. I did not realize we've nearly been going 3
Yes.
hours.
Thank you for listening to this long podcast.
Yeah, if you've
Yes.
made it through,
Our
what the hell are
bathrooms
you-
await.
What's going on? Yeah,
It was a
seriously.
2-minute fucking trailer, guys.
Spinosaurus, am I right? Leave your comments down below. What do you think of the Spinosaurus design?
What's
What do you think
Spinosaurus?
of
I didn't see
the-
one.
Leave love for Amy. Leave love for Amy.
What do you think of the Spino? What do you think of the mutant dinosaur Amy thing and Jurassic World Rebirth? Rated R.
The mutant is coming to get us all.
Yes, in our sleep, under your bed.
Alien Romulus. Maybe